and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena as we continue to kick off the start of the Power Esports Conference, now Super Smash Bros. Season. Tonight, we've got Boise State facing off against Syracuse, as they have been in a thrilling showdown. It's been a week of back and forth between these two schools already, as Boise State's Rocket League squad managed to take a tight 3-2 victory over the Orange, while Syracuse's brand new Overwatch roster turned the tables and handed the Broncos a tough loss in that arena. However, when it came to Valorant, Boise State came back, shutting them down 2-0. The stage is set for another chapter in this Boise-Syracuse rivalry, and we can't wait to see who comes out on top as we enter our final game, Super Smash Bros. So settle in and let's get this match started. Syracuse is one of the great schools in the country, a powerhouse in academics, athletics, and with one of the best campuses in the East. A name like that should be familiar to just about everyone. But the real question is, how well do the Boise State players actually know Syracuse? We put them to the test with a couple of simple questions, and let's just say the answers might surprise you.
First one should be easy.
Oh, that's Syracuse.
Yep, and where are they? So what would be like one of those big states?
California.
I know my schools. I don't know my geography.
Other than California.
Texas.
No, he's on the East Coast.
Other than Texas, we keep moving, keep pushing east.
Florida.
New York.
This is Syracuse in New York.
Stand here like this and see if that gives you
We're gonna go in New York City.
There you go. Well, New York.
But New York.
Syracuse, and that is in New York, right?
Where in New York?
Oh.
Where is Syracuse located in New York?
How am I supposed to know this?
Where in New York?
New York.
Okay, well, I know that's Syracuse, but where is Syracuse?
Where in New York is Syracuse?
Is it-
So you don't know where Syracuse is.
Not in New York, no.
Not Albany, is it?
You don't know where Syracuse is.
Oh, it might be in Syracuse.
Hey! You don't know where Syracuse is in New York.
Syracuse.
There you go.
They're probably from nowhere. They're not very good.
Strong as we can see, but we'll have to see if the players' geography skills will match up to their competitive skills as we get ready to jump in to these matchups. Now, Boise State and Syracuse have fought in Smash Bros. Before. In fact, they have a little bit of a history with a couple matches from last year's conference, and if we remember the record correctly, it is 2-1 in Boise State's favor. So as we get ready to jump into this match, and with this being the final matchup for the Power Esports Conference for this week, this is an opportunity for Boise State to be able to take home a strong record of 3-1 against them, or be tied up 2-2 if Boise State can't take it. So do you think there are any additions that Syracuse might have to the roster that could be a potential challenge for us tonight to look out for?
You know, I do think that there is one that we really should be keeping an eye on. It is Syrup, one of their new players, who replaced a student who graduated and sort of filling out their roster. His name is Syrup, and he's going to be playing Steve tonight. And if our information is correct, he's actually going to be up first. So we are going to see him play first and foremost, which I'm really excited about because we actually have not seen Steve in this setting before. And I am really excited because Steve is one of those characters that you can really take any which way. You can play him however you really see. And at the highest level of play, these Steve players are really scary because you can essentially build your own map out of it. And I think that's something that we really need to keep an eye on. I do think Boise State has a little bit of an advantage in this matchup, though, considering that we've seen them grow quite a bit over the past year. We're going to actually be seeing Gokis, who's been practicing Snake a little bit more online, and I think that is going to help us out just a little bit more, having that ranged option, being able to pressure out Steve from a distance, not letting him get his flow.
True. In fact, all the Boise State players, from what we have heard, have been putting more time online, which will give them a much more comfortable place to be sitting while they're going in between those games, as Super Smash Bros. Is the game where you don't got two metas. Well, don't got one meta, you got two, because it's online and LAN, and that creates a whole host of different challenges to overcome. But at least you're glad to see Steve on the field. I personally, always interesting. I've seen some interesting Steve matches, but I've seen a lot of Steve matches where I'm like, oh boy, there's the wall, and he's going to be mining behind it for how many seconds. So I'm excited to see a player who has so much expertise in him. He notably had a pro stint, so he, although could have that extra elevated level of skill, though we heard that he also ended up losing in his previous match against the other team. So we'll have to see where that goes. But as we're getting ready to jump into it, we get a little bit of preview of all of our talented players here at the Boise State Esports Arena. They're going to be jumping into this matchup tonight.
Yeah, I am really excited to see how this matches up. And I will say, Steve might be this boogeyman that we've seen in the in-person circuit. He is an incredibly versatile character that can do a whole lot with a very, very small kit. However, when you go into an online circuit, you have Nintendo Online, which is, it's okay. But it does favor characters that are a little bit more ranged, have a little bit more of those sorts of options. And with Steve, you do have a lot of blocks, you got a lot of stuff to use, you got a lot of shenanigans there. However, a lot of Steve's kit involves getting really up close and personal, getting all the combos in, and hitting those impact frames and just perfectly timing combos. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to do on a networking service. So I think that if the Snake plays it right, he should have the advantage in this outcome. Gokis has been putting time in on Snake. We saw it against SJSU earlier last week. He is a lot better on the character now than he was even just a few months ago. So also, another thing to point out, Syrup actually lost his first 1v1. So
it's true,
pro
yeah.
or not, the Titan can be toppled. So is he really the boogeyman that we've made him out to be?
I think we'll have to find out when we go into the match, but if you always want to be better at Smash Bros. And know what you're doing, then there's always a helpful way to handle that, which is the keys to the game, as they can improve your play and get you to where you need to be. And in Super Smash Bros., that is to look for the 2-frame. Actually, there it is. Remember to taunt. Punish openings. Look for the 2-frame. Look for the 2-frame. I was wondering where the taunt would be.
So nice, they had to put it twice.
Exactly. And with that, Doc's Keys to the Games are brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years of combined experience, they are proud to be Boise's go-to team of local, multi-generational painters who know how to level up your home. Visit blueribbonpainting.net. Now, as we're still continuing to get into this matchup, something we always like to explain at the beginning of Smash Bros. Seasons is the format, because Smash Bros. Kind of has a unique one, but the format's actually changed from the years that we are used to, where it's not a crew battle for at least the PEC. Mountain West is a different story, but for PEC, we've now changed to the duel format now.
Yeah, in the duel format, instead of having one player that has the chance to play all 4 rounds as long as his stocks don't go away, instead, it is a list of 1v1s that are decided before the match even starts. So we know exactly who is playing who and with what character as well. So in this matchup, for instance, Gokis will be playing Syrup as decided in the beginning of the match, and it will be a Snake versus Steve matchup. It makes it a little bit easier for us to see exactly who's getting played, because I remember a lot last year, we would talk about, oh, this character, this person really likes to play this character. And then they switch it up last minute, and we're like, oh, we've been hyping up this character for so long, why can't we play him? But in we go, and it's actually not Steve, it's Alex. Same character, same moveset, but different skin.
Yeah, and I am excited to get into the first Smash Bros. Game, as we are going to jump right into it. Granted, when we're looking at a Steve game, jump right into it is more preparing to mine.
Yep, looks like everybody's doing a little bit of limit testing with their abilities just to make sure everything's working out okay. Most important thing in Smash Bros. Is being able to repeat your moves, making sure that, yeah, just to make sure that everything is working the way it should, because the worst thing to see is when you try to go in for a combo and somebody remapped your jump button. That's never fun.
It's very true. And yeah, as we talk about always remembering to taunt, but for more reasons than others, you see the first taunt, you know that the game is going to begin. So I think it's a fun little start to Smash Bros. Games. They have different feels than the rest of them. Oh. As we're going to get a little bit of a reset there, but it does give us an opportunity to talk about the format a little bit more. Notably, I think that the 1v1 where we know that they're going to be playing against each other might sound like we're going to lose some of that intrigue of the counter pick that the crew battles used to have. And luckily, that's still actually a thing where between those rounds that they're playing, they alternate who picks first, allowing for still some of that counter pick potential. So I'm excited to see that as we get into these matches, because we'll have to test out this new format, see how it feels. I think it'll be good for players to not have to go up against that one boogeyman, but they'll still get those opportunities going forward as we actually jump into the match. And like I said before, we always start with mining for those resources here.
Yep, it looks like Steve is trying to mine for him, but the good thing about Snake is that, just like TNT in Minecraft, it's able to blow up blocks very, very well. Unfortunately, the minecart is still going to deal a lot of damage, so you do have to keep away from that. Especially when you get up to those high percents, 42 and counting, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get things done. Syrup on the Steve, looking to make something happen, blocking off the grenades, not really letting him get close.
Going to be a little bit of an issue here for Snake if he can't find a way through, though can destroy the blocks more effectively, as we see here. Going to have to take a couple more opportunities, but Syrup already found the diamond that they need to amp that power up, and that minecart combo is going to launch Snake into the air here. Now over the 100% marker. It's not an instant knockout, but it could be dangerous. They want to look for those opportunities here.
Especially for a heavier character like Snake, you can afford to take a little bit more damage. However, only getting your opponent to 19% is not where you want to be, especially with that down air from Steve. That's going to be a KO. Syrup takes the first stock of the match.
Weight doesn't matter when the anvil comes down, and with that, Syrup is able to continue the onslaught here. Damage is becoming more even, but the stock doesn't matter. Anvil again! Almost a knockout, but Snake does have some solid recovery here, able to hang on. Goki's looking for an opportunity, but it's a rough playing field here when you've got walls that are going to stop your incendiaries.
Yeah, they talk about hammer and anvil, but Syrup is really putting an emphasis on the anvil part of it. Looks like Steve is in a really good position to take another stock here. Syrup really looking for a good opportunity, just trying to zone out Goki's on the Snake, not letting him do anything, and a forward tilt is going to be enough to take Goki's down, yet another stock. And Syrup has yet to lose his first. Steve has a really good ability to stay alive, especially with that ability to create platforms that you're seeing right here, especially the walls as well, not letting him get any sort of room to set up for stuff. However, with Goki's having those explosions, he's able to break them a lot more effectively than some other characters.
Ooh, good catch there on the recovery, but that anvil grab is going to be another thing, and we see the combo. Steve able to get multiple hits off. Syrup playing very well here. The damage is racking up, but so is for the Broncos here. Explosions, unfortunately, hostile to you as well. You're gonna have to be careful here. Goki's looking for an opportunity. Dodges the anvil. Learned the lesson.
Oh no! But he's gonna do it twice! Oh, poor
Syrup
Snake.
is going to take the first game for Syracuse without a stock loss, gaining them 4 points going forward.
Yeah, overall, just clean play from Steve. Not letting Goki's get anywhere close, not letting those explosions really take hold of the match. We've seen it with Snakes before. The ability to zone out your opponent is pretty much your bread and butter. It's the garlic bread with a little bit of cheese on top. It's what you're looking for. And unfortunately, with Steve putting up all the walls, Syrup was able to take the garlic bread out of the oven. I'm not sure who doesn't like garlic bread, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Syrup doesn't.
Yeah, and I mean, the only issue with that is you can only zone out people that have to actually face the range projectiles, and when you can fundamentally change the structure of the thing you're standing on, there's not a lot you can do in that area, and those grenades, I mean, we saw how much danger they presented to Goki's and not just Syrup, but I will say, able to get to such high percentages as well does show the potential of those range attacks, so going forward, that is a danger to watch out for, but not something we immediately need to deal with, as that isn't going to be going into this next matchup, I believe
so. I think Syrup is on Syracuse twice, which I believe is against the rules.
I'm guessing that.
I think it's.
Oh no, that. Yeah, that is a good old Min there, which we've seen some interesting.
Min is scary.
Min is scary. I will say I like Min because ARMS is such an underrated game, and it was so good in both music and concept, just didn't get enough love.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminds me of Wii Sport boxing. And we just got our second matchup. It is going to be Supersonic against the Min player. So Olimar versus Min. Decent matchup. I will say it probably favors the Min just a little bit, especially with the boomerang arm that is able to go through Pikmin and entity hitboxes without being bounced back. So it'll be interesting to see how Supersonic plays around it. Olimar has a lot of mobility, especially without a lot of the Pikmin, because he actually moves faster in his aerials without the Pikmin attached. But it'll be interesting to see how he plays. He's played against Min Min before. He knows the matchup fairly well, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes out.
I'm fairly certain that's actually Ado Bears if it is the Min Min player, because Ado Bears is the Min Min DDD player that we saw last season. Is it actually
Sharks?
Sharks? Different player. We've got
A lot of
Min-Mins.
S's.
Why do they
on
have so many
Syracuse.
Min-Mins on this team? Okay,
Oh,
it is Ado
Ado
Bears.
Bears. Yep.
I knew it. It was ingrained into my brain from last time because we saw
long
that he
name.
could potentially play DDD, and we were like, Leia Dog never gets to play a DDD. And then Leia Dog beat him with DDD, and he swapped to Min Min, and that was then.
He's a coward.
Well, he's a good Min Min player, so we'll have to see. This might be a little bit of a potential revenge tour. Maybe not revenge tour, but potential comeback tour for the Broncos, as that Min Min was one of the worst matchups. Actually, if I remember correctly, they already did that during the spring LAN. So it's just another opportunity to, instead of taking it all the way to LAN for that matchup, maybe get them defeated on the online as well. So we'll have to see there. But it does look like we're going to be going into Supersonic's match. He's preparing mentally for the onslaught. Olimar is a tried and true character we've seen for this team. It's not one of the strongest damage-wise, but it has that ability to hold on for a long time with the Pikmin if you get the right Pikmin in your setup. So I'll be curious to see that. And, of course, we're going to be hearing the constant noise of them being thrown.
And death.
And
the
dying.
death sound.
Because Min Min also very good at knocking them out with her arm's range.
That's true. Min Min is incredible for killing Pikmin, especially with certain arm attachments, being able to pierce, being able to just go through Olimar, hit the Pikmin behind him, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to keep the ones you want. I mean, granted, there's really only two Pikmin that you ever want, and that's the yellow and the purple. Purple one hits like a freight train, and the yellow one has the largest hitbox and stuns.
That's not true. Blue can help you throw up, and that can get knockouts. Blue is also scary. Don't.
Yeah. I guess you got a little bit of a
Don't
point.
diss my friend Blue. I've watched him get
don't
many
like
stock knocks
I don't
out.
like the blues.
You don't like the blue Pikmin?
I don't like the blues. The music is not my taste. I'm more of a 90s rock kind of guy. But they don't add rock Pikmin to the game. You know why? It's because Nintendo doesn't like 3, except for the winged Pikmin. They add the winged Pikmin, but not the rock Pikmin. This is prejudice, Nintendo. You need to add the rock Pikmin, but not before this game goes on, because that would require a balanced data slate, and we don't have time for that. As we move into match 2, Olimar versus Min Min. Let's get it done.
We're going to go into the Pokemon Stadium, which, one thing I was debating mentioning before we start is one of the scary things we can always see is the stage, for Min Min especially, can be terrifying as some stages her arms just cross the entire thing, and if you have no platforms to hide on, it can be terrifying. I believe this is not one of them, but it's still pretty long. As they are going to go for another reset. We get a little bit of setup here.
Making sure that everything's working all right.
But you get a little bit of a showcase. I do like this stadium compared to some of the other ones. When we look at the competitive stadiums we're allowed to see, at least this one gives us some variety sometimes.
That's true, and it's not the same Battlefield-style map with the 3 platforms or just completely flat.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why they won't add maps like the Great Cave Offensive, giant map meant for 8 players, but come on,
Can we
guys,
not have the
throw us a
spin?
bone.
What about the spinny map where
The
you're
spinny map.
combating
Oh, the
motion
Spiral
sickness just
Mountain.
as much
Yeah.
as your opponent?
Yeah, I mean, we have Banjo and Kazooie on the team, so it would
Be
fit.
perfect, yeah.
Plus,
Thematic.
It is very thematic. Or like Gerudo Valley, the best soundtrack in all of Super Smash Bros. In my humble opinion. Unless it's a Splatoon 2 sound, or unless it's from a soundtrack from Splatoon, then
Let's
maybe.
just be real. Splatoon has some of the best music. It's
Yes.
just great.
I don't know what Nintendo was smoking when they made that, but give me some of that for my creative endeavors.
Yeah?
Yeah, if it's half as good. Season's off to a great start, folks. All right, for real this time, we're going in. Min Min Olimar, Ado Bears Sonic. Let's see how this goes.
And right off the bat, as we would expect, Min Min is going to be throwing hands from across the stadium as the Pikmin going to be looking for their opportunities to be thrown. We already see the classic purple Pikmin and the blue Pikmin going to look for those potential throws, which isn't the worst idea against Min Min, because if you can get them off the stage up, they can't recover using their elastic arms here, but he's going to stay pretty close in the damage percentages to start here. Those arms and their range are going to be a tough spot here for Supersonic to recover, as Ado Bear is just holding down that middle, which is Min Min's favorite thing to do.
It was a good little snipe out of Supersonic, getting that red Pikmin onto Min Min, just trying to keep her off just a little bit. Ado Bears has the ability to zone out Olimar really well, but those top platforms are going to help him out just a little bit in closing that gap. Min Min taking out the Pikmin, or the white Pikmin, but not quite able to finish the kill before getting thrown off the map themselves. Grab comes through, trying to find something here. Draconic Buster, not really going to work out. And Supersonic doing a pretty good job at staying out of range, but Ado Bears is going to make sure that he gets punished for that.
Shields are always the best friend of anyone going against those projectiles that Ado Bears can throw out. And the damage is showing that the slow strategy is working, but not when you go against the heaviest arm option in the game. That thing hits like a truck, and we saw that right there. But Supersonic is not deterred, continuing to throw out his Pikmin here. And you know that would be the knockout, but luckily Supersonic knows what he's doing, and Olimar has
Double
some wonderful
connect on the
recovery, but
Pikmin.
that will be the knockout. Can only survive that hit so many times.
Unfortunate for Supersonic, fortunate for Ado Bears. That was probably his best shot to get that stock, but now Supersonic looking to finish off Min Min, currently at 184%, well within range to be taken down. One good purple Pikmin will do the Min Min in, and it did. A little back air is going to take Min Min down. They are completely even. First stock down for Boise State, and Syracuse looking to respond.
Yeah, let's go Supersonic, holding strong, but going to take a brutal bashing right there from a couple hits and trying to look for some opportunities using the platform for a little bit of breathing room. It's hard to find when your opponent can just throw out massive attacks like that, but using those careful shield moments to soak up some of the damage has been giving a good opportunities. We're going to get the grab into a combo here, going to use that to get some Pikmin back. Important resource for Olimar. If they can't find their Pikmin, they can't do a lot here. Supersonic trying to be careful in this recovery and going to get hit. Could be dangerous, but able to stay in the air long enough that Min Min isn't able to capitalize on that there, but getting thrown to the other side. Scary thing.
Min Min with the ledge guarding is really just trying to keep Supersonic on his toes. Ado Bear is really finding his groove here. Already taking down Olimar's stock entirely. Supersonic down to his last stock, and Ado Bears is only about halfway to 100. Currently up to 92, though. Supersonic is not going to let that slide for very much longer.
Blue Pikmin
And
goes down,
once
but Purple
again,
is out, and Purple getting that knockout there, bringing it 1-1, completely even here, though Ado Bear is looking to try and end this as fast as possible.
Yeah, if you are Ado Bears, you want to get this done. Supersonic has the potential to come back, currently up to 56%.
Oh, so
he
scary.
needs to find the stock first if he wants to win this round for Boise State. The issue he's been running into is that he does get the stock, but only after losing his own. Ado Bears only sitting at 10%. Has been able to range him out very well. A little bit of an up tilt's going to keep Supersonic in the air. Not too much is going on with him, but a good Pikmin stick is going to allow Supersonic to get back on stage.
Yeah, being off the stage is dangerous at this point. The closer to the middle you can get, the better, but Ado Bears knows that, and Min Min, once again, loves that middle spot on the arena, get that range. Supersonic going to dash in, trying to get a couple hits off, going to get launched in the air, and as they land, hit by the Min Min arm, and that is going to be the knockout, though Boise State able to get some stocks from their opponent this time around.
Just punch him in the face. I don't know why, but that soundbite comes to mind every time I see Min Min with the giant, the circular arm. I'm going to hit you so hard it'd take 40% from you. But the ability for Min Min to just edge guard the entire game really limits the approaches that Olimar can take. Olimar is incredibly light. I believe he's one of the lightest characters in the game, only really beaten out by Pichu. And it makes it really hard to approach, especially the really hard-hitting characters like Min Min.
Is Sora lighter?
I think Sora is a little lighter, actually.
Sora's like has that like funny gimmick with how like light he is. But regardless, yeah, it is still an issue because Olimar going against a character that can hit you for 40 is going to instantly be an issue if you're anywhere above that 100%, which is what we saw there. But I will say it was a really good time to watch the Pikmin get those knockouts onto Min Min as well. Olimar is a attrition, battle. You are holding down the fort, throwing Pikmin over and over and over again until you get close to a knockout, or you happen to be close enough to the ledge that a throw could be deadly. And because of that, it takes, I think, a lot of persistence to play that. So I always enjoy watching Supersonic, step back into the battlefield here and having to go against some of the rougher opponents oftentimes for the rest of the team. But with that, we do know what our next matchup is going to be.
It's going to be Mata and Sarvi. And from the looks of things, we're going to be seeing a Richter-Luigi matchup. And you know what? Richter is always a fun character to watch. He's got just so much stuff to throw at. I swear that Richter and Moon Knight are the same character. Random stuff, go!
In a sense, yes. But Richter takes a lot more, I feel like, pre-planning to fully pull off. Because it's one of those characters where I feel like you'd expect that player has, like, a degree or is getting a degree in, like, mathematics. Because sometimes calculating the axe throw in accordance with, like, the whip so you get the knockout, I always wonder, like, how did you not pre-plan that? I know you can't pre-plan that in Smash Bros. It's impossible. The game goes so fast. But every time, I'm just like, how'd you know? How'd you do that?
How you do that?
It's part of just how Mata is just so good with Richter.
Something like that. I mean,
something like that.
I feel like there is a little bit of a strategic planning element when it comes to Richter. But my personal theory is that a lot of people who play like characters like Richter, like Simon, like me, Brawler to an extent, they just end up throwing stuff. And then if it works, they're like, might as well combo, and then just running it down. And I feel like that's super entertaining to watch. Like, I got nothing else better to do. Might as well throw an axe. It hit? Don't mind if I do.
I'd love to hear you tell that theory to the Smash Bros. Players that they don't, like, obsessively, like, know, like, and pre-plan their moves and see how the rant of, like, all of the percentages that they know for all of their moves and their likelihoods and the combos of if they do XYZ, I do ABC, and see how that one goes for you.
You know what? I'll just go ask him right now. Give me just a second. Okay, probably shouldn't do that. I might.
The match might start before you get back.
The match might start before I get
back.
You
can't bother Mata. They're getting ready to go.
Gotta let them lock in.
Gotta let them lock in.
Gotta lock in. Okay, my bad jokes are even more funny because I can slightly hear production out of my headphones.
My favorite thing is when you can hear that production's reaction to a joke, good or bad. But we know what the reaction this time was.
Hey, you're right. Hey, at least I didn't do that stupid 6-7 joke because I hate that. It is the one joke that I cannot stand.
I feel like I'm being baited right now.
I'm not. I swear I am not. I have a little brother in middle school, and it is like his only form of humor. But something else that's quite humorous is what Mata's about to do to Luigi, especially right now, taking a lot of early damage in the beginning. So far, this has been the most dominant BSU, or Boise State University, start.
Calling that very early, but so far there's going to be a little bit of mix-up here, though. You have to be careful if you get into Luigi's clutches. You might just get comboed off the stage. As we see both of them vying for that opportunity here. As right now...
Luigi?
Yeah.
He's doing a little bit of a dance. Oh, no, he's back.
Sarvi's thinking for a second, but that's okay. We're back into it. Mata doing a little bit of a reset.
Xbox controller died. Needed to go get some more batteries.
I miss those days, just sitting on the couch, playing Xbox games,
Minecraft for the Xbox 360. That was my first introduction to Xbox, and that was a great time.
I did play Minecraft on the Xbox, but we played it a lot more on PC. Or honestly, I played it so much on my mom's iPad.
Oh yeah, the first Minecraft I ever had, I had an iPod Touch, like the first one that ever came out, and I begged my mom to let me get Minecraft Pocket Edition, so I got Minecraft Pocket Edition, and I played the crap out of Minecraft.
So much, yeah.
I still like Minecraft. It's still one of my favorite games to just turn my brain off and play.
But not as much as these players play Smash Bros, I feel like.
Yes, that's probably fair.
Whenever I talk to them, they're like, yeah, I'm going to go to this tournament and this and that. And I'm like, you're on the esports team and you're still going to like local tournaments and stuff. I'm like, that's great. That's awesome. But my goodness, I could never live and like breathe and just exist in one game. But, you know, that's what a lot of our players do with the arena. And it is quite impressive. But as we get ready to go into that matchup again, give them a moment to make sure their batteries are all good, which, you know, doesn't necessarily happen for...
He's doing the Syracuse shimmy, I guess.
The Syracuse shimmy?
What else would you call that? The...
You want to do that again for the camera?
Man, this is only game one. Why am I so cooked?
It's okay, because it's the first week of Smash Bros for PEC. You know, our PEC games have always had that extra level of goofy, our brains melt. So, you know, we just got to get it started right off the bat. We got to make sure that like all of the people watching know exactly what they're going to be dealing with for the rest of the season. Yeah,
this is what you watch Boise State esports for. I'm not just saying it's for me. I don't have that big of an ego. But it's funny. We have some good times.
Yeah? You know, I was wanting to talk about my excitement for the matchup, and then we got completely off track to this. So to pull back to where we were going, another thing I wanted to say that I think is fun about like Richter and Luigi is that Luigi is a character that is based on like a lot of scary like combos that could just insta-kill sometimes. You never know. And Richter is one of those characters that has so much versatility at ranged, but then if you get close, can also mess you up. And so I think it's a really, exciting way to see potential shutdowns there, because we are going to actually jump into the matchup, it looks like.
Well, it looks like Luigi is actually down a stock already. Sarvi not having the best experience, a little bit of a controller issue in the beginning, and down a stock to start the match. Mata really looking to apply the pressure here, and Luigi just barely being able to get back on with the help of a green missile.
That fire during the recovery is going to be brutal, and it's not even going to let Sarvi get an opportunity here. Trying to find it, but Mata is just holding strong, keeping good space in between the two players until they want to strike, and that is going really well for them. Luigi already above their own current percentage.
Yeah, Richter just able to get a lot of stuff done. The green missile isn't quite enough to get back, but his up special is.
Yep. They've got opportunities.
Oh! Really good back air out of Sarvi, just not quite enough, not high enough percentage to kill. And now Mata has a chance to retaliate. At 142%, Sarvi has a long way to climb back up.
Almost gave me a heart attack there, but we're back to the other side, which seems to be the Luigi punishment side, while the other side is where Richter has a rough time. But not going to be an issue for the Broncos right now, as another stock will be lost for Syracuse here.
Yeah, if Mata ends up winning this one, that'll put Boise State ahead, or actually tied. Now it'll put them tied. But that's still a good spot to be in. It proves why this format is a little bit more, I wouldn't say fair. It's a little bit
more back and forth.
Yeah, a little bit more back and forth. Because even if you lose your first two games, you still have that chance to return to where you're at.
But returning to where we were at, we see kind of a similar story to where we were on the second stock here. That did not end well for Sarvi. And now that we're on the side of the stage again, able to dodge that fire, they've learned how Mata likes to play. They're going to have to be careful because that's not the only trick up their sleeve right now here.
There's a lot of stuff up the... Actually, no, he's not even wearing sleeves. How can he have tricks up there?
Don't think about it too hard. Richter can...
That's a lot of cereal to keep up someone's vest.
So back on the matchup here.
Luigi trying to get the recovery, almost getting there, and he does. He manages to get there, just barely with the up special. Mata getting a lot of damage in. Both players at around the same percent, although Sarvi has an entire stock to regain if he wants to have a chance at winning this matchup.
Well, and keeping the lead for Syracuse here, but the issue right now they're going to be presented with is that Boise State just holding the line. Mata bringing them back to the ledge here. This recovery doesn't go through. It could be the end. Broncos looking for that opportunity, but the shield's going to keep them safe as Sarvi is now just trying to find that angle here. Gets a good parry onto the axe, going to reduce, just deny any damage from it, but it's not enough if they can't find a way to break through, and that is going to be where the Broncos break through instead. Getting a stop and tying up the game. 6-6 now because you get a point for every stock you take and a point for winning. So although they were able to get a point for taking one from Richter, that should be their overall... Actually, it's not going to tie. It does look like we're still...
Oh.
We didn't math right. That's okay.
That's okay. Boise State still has a chance to take this back,
though. That is closing the lead because they were ahead pretty far at this point. So bringing it 8-6 is still a comfortable position to bring it back. In this next matchup, if Melfor is able to...
Let me do just a bit of math here. So we're at
the
6-9.
round. Why is it at 9 now?
Okay, so we're at 6. So we're at 6-9.
We can tie it.
Melfor when he
Actually, we can win.
No, if
still.
Melfor. Yes.
All right.
So Melfor has to win this without losing a stock in order to win.
Yes.
So which is possible. We've seen it before.
A single stock, they tie and then go into the tiebreaker.
Yes, that is correct.
So the only way here for Broncos right now is either win completely, or win with one stock lost.
That's true. Because if you lose more than one, Syracuse wins round one, puts them ahead in the series. Yes, that is how that works. And I think I said this a little bit earlier, but I'd like to elaborate on it a little bit more. I think that this format makes it so that you can go a little bit back and forth in the series and still not completely be out of the race. It allows for one player to not play the entire match, like we were talking about a little bit earlier. Let's say Syrup plays the whole match, doesn't lose a stock. That's... I mean, it's how you can play the game. It's how stock works. It's how crew battles work, and it's how we play it in the Mountain West. However, I think that this provides a little bit a better viewer experience since we get to see every single player play. You don't see Ado Bears, Mill Sharks, and Sarvi on the board and then never watch them play. Never get to see them in the Donkey Kong, the Luigi.
Yeah, just because Syrup decided to not lose stocks whatsoever.
Because Syrup decided to lock in and not die. But you know what? If it was Mata going up against Syrup, I think they would have won it. Not going to lie.
Well, we'll have to find out eventually. That's not the matchup that we're about to see, though.
No.
It is going to be Banjo and Kazooie versus Donkey Kong.
Mill Sharks versus Melfor. The Battle of M's. M&M.
This will be an interesting match. I'm a big fan of Banjo and Kazooie. I really like them. I think there's the fun. I enjoy the fun of Wonder Wing as a mechanic. Incredibly strong move you can only use a certain amount of times. That's both for your offensive and your defensive, so it makes you really think about it. And Donkey Kong is a character that can take damage, so that will be a bit more of a stamina battle for Banjo and Kazooie, not wasting, too many Wonder Wings before you can get the knockout. But I am super excited because Donkey Kong also has some really fun abilities and also a very dreaded ability to put you in the ground and make you think about your life choices before you get launched into the air and lose your stock.
Get down there and think about what you've done.
Before I launch you straight up into the air, yeah.
I think you're sleeping on another big part of Donkey Kong that I think makes him really fun to watch. He is the only character that can grab and then move.
It's true.
Also, Donkey Kong has the most spikes out of any character in the game as well. He has 9.
The dreaded spikes.
Yes, almost all of his aerials can spike, which is so fun to watch because you see Donkey Kong and it's like, what is he going to do? Is he going to play on the stage? You see him jump off and it's like, is he going to down air? Is he going to nair? Is he going to forward air? Is he going to up air? Is he going to hit you from the sidelines and somehow get a spike off of his neutral special because for some reason that has a spike hitbox. But there's so much that you can do with Donkey Kong that I feel like a lot of people don't do because he's not exactly meta. I mean, he's C tier, middle of the road. I mean, this is according to pros. I'm not a pro, but I like to see Donkey Kong. So Donkey Kong is S in my heart. So
Let the big monkey play.
let the monkey play around.
Well, no, I get where you're coming from. I mean, I said dreaded spike, right? But, like, that's for the players. For us, I love eating up a good spike. I mean, that's part of, I miss seeing Leia Dog there a little bit because whenever he would get potential spikes off with DDD, gave us some really good moments to scream over and be excited about. But there's a potential for that within our roster still. But Donkey Kong definitely brings some of that energy. So we're going to get right into that match. This will be the determiner here for whether or not Boise State can take this or if Syracuse is able to hang on. So we're going to see Donkey Kong versus Banjo, Melfor versus Millsharks.
Starting it off strong, Donkey Kong with a little bit of an air with the up special, just trying to rack on a little bit of damage. His powered punch is completely charged, so that is a lot of damage just waiting to be done. And Melfor needs to avoid as much damage as he can. But that is really good at getting Donkey Kong off the stage, but not quite able to hit him with the Wonder Wing before he's able to get back on. Donkey Kong still just biding his time. Oh my goodness!
I was about to say that the Broncos were in a good position damage-wise, but bringing it even with one hit, now in a much more dangerous position because being even in percentage doesn't mean anything when you're going against such a heavy character. And now off the stage, the Broncos have to be careful on this recovery, but a well-timed explosion will give them a little room to work with. Not going to be the knockout just yet, but another Wonder Wing might be gone, and that is the last Wonder Wing of the shot.
He did the thing I was talking about. He threw him off the stage.
Why did you say
And ladies and gentlemen, that was your unbottled play of the game, presented by local dairy farm families. Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. Visit unbottled.com for more information as we watch Mata get a little bit of revenge, trying to get Donkey Kong down.
Melfor, not Mata. Melfor gone.
So many ends
but that's
on this
okay.
game, but he gets the stock.
Gotta do right by Melfor when he gets the stock there. And
That's true.
Now we're going to be a little bit more even, but now we've seen what sneaky little tricks Millsharks wants to pull. He just goes simple and takes you off the side there, so better watch out, Broncos, going forward here into this matchup. We see a little bit more wary of the Donkey Kong shenanigans, but getting thrown up into the air, getting closer to that skybox could be danger!
No.
Just barely avoiding it.
Just trying to throw him up to the air, to the top of the map hitbox. You can do so much stuff with Donkey Kong. His hitboxes are so big that he's so forgiving. But once again,
don't do it again!
That's the second time Millsharks came to play. He is not taking anything lightly. He knows exactly what Banjo and Kazooie can do, and he's not letting Banjo or Kazooie do just about anything.
Fortunately, that is a bad point spot for the Broncos, but the match continues. We're going to see this to the end. Recovery goes through for Donkey Kong, trying to power up that punch, but going to be denied.
Good little down air comes out from Millsharks, taking a lot of damage being launched up by Melfor.
Ooh, good avoid from that attack there. Broncos do not want to
almost
get
gets the
stuck in a
grab.
stun. That grab could have been bad, but luckily able to avoid it. Now on the recovery ledge, just trying to avoid any potential grabs.
Unshields just a second too early.
And that's great for Melfor here, putting Donkey Kong on the back foot.
What a punch out of Donkey Kong. Millsharks picking the perfect opportunity, runs after the Wonder Wing, isn't quite able to get there, currently sitting at 170%, but he is taking Melfor right to the brink. Both players deep in the red.
Donkey Kong in a little bit of a rough spot, but shields the Wonder Wing, and with that, Melfor is out of an important resource here. They're going to have to be very careful going forward. Grenades being thrown out, trying to get any potential chip damage if Millshark chooses to rush us forward, but he is a patient monkey, waiting, but not waiting long enough, going to get the knockout here for the Broncos, now both on their last stock, but 162 getting launched into the air. quickly going to be ended right after that. Syracuse taking the last game here.
And that will be the game. Boise State actually put up quite a bit of a fight there, especially towards the end. Mata and Melford definitely got their share of blood. Not to discredit Supersonic at all, getting the 2 stocks as well. Just in the end, wasn't quite enough as Syracuse take the first round.
Yeah, I mean, we saw. I think there was so many potential opportunities for like those Wonder Wings there that didn't go through, and that was a dangerous moment there that Donkey Kong was able to capitalize on. Millsharks playing it very well, but yeah. Overall, despite Syracuse taking it very close, like points-wise, there was a couple stocks. If it had been just a little closer, it could have been a little bit scarier for them in the end, but really good back and forth from both of those teams there.
Yeah, I think if the Syrup game got a little bit closer, it would have been a tied game, because that 3-0 in the beginning definitely hurt them a little bit. Not being able to take the stocks off of Snake definitely made the game.
Though, as we continue forward and we are getting ready to watch, our amazing matches, we do need to take a moment to thank ICCU for their continued support of Boise State Esports. Thanks to ICCU, Boise State Esports has won multiple national championships and piled up more than 1,500 wins. ICCU, looking after your daily balance. Visit iccu.com. Now, as we are getting ready to watch some awesome matches, I do think we need to take a breather, as we can already see that both of us are a little bit shaken just in our ability to process what we witnessed, especially with the monkey shenanigans we watched there. So as we're getting ready to continue and see some more awesome content, we will take a quick break and be right back.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. It's finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great. Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
show you what I got.
With the Dairy West Fueling Station, we really wanted to create a place that our players could come and be fueled and hydrated in a healthy way, fuel their minds, fuel their bodies so they can compete at the highest level. Dairy West has really allowed us to do that, and we're excited to see what this space turns into. This is only phase one. There's many iterations to come. It's truly unique in college esports, and we're excited to see how that continues to evolve. We're really thankful for Dairy West's support and look forward to continue working with them.
Let me show you what I got.
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app. I know this car got you through college, but check this out. In my credit, your credit score looks good. And there's a great rate on this auto loan so we can score a roomier ride. Whoa, who's driving this thing? The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Scott Bears, that was probably his best shot to get that stock, but now Supersonic looking to finish off Min Min, currently at 184%, well within range to be taken down. One good purple Pikmin will do the Min Min in percentage to kill, and now Mata has a chance to retaliate. At 142%, Ssbu has a long way to climb back up.
Almost gave me a heart attack there, but we're back to the other side, which seems to be the Luigi punishment side, while the other side is where Richter has a rough time safe, as Ssbu is now just trying to find that angle here. Gets a good parry onto the axe, going to reduce, just deny any damage from it, but it's not enough if they can't find a way to break through, and that
was your unbottled play of the game, presented by local dairy farm families. Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. Visit unbottled.com for more information as we watch Mata get a little bit of revenge, trying to get Donkey Kong down.
Melfor, not Mata. A rough spot, but shields the Wonder Wing, and with that, Melfor is out of an important resource here. You're going to have to be very careful going forward. Grenades being thrown out, trying to get any potential chip damage if Milshark chooses to rush us forward, but he is a patient monkey, waiting.
Whoa.
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app. I know this car got you through college, but check this out. In my credit, your credit score looks good. And there's a great rate on this auto loan so we can score a roomier ride. Whoa, who's driving this thing? The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
At Blue Ribbon Painting, we're proud to be a locally family-owned and operated business dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's freshening up your home with interior or exterior painting, or tackling a commercial project, we've got you covered. When you choose Blue Ribbon Painting, you're not just hiring painters. You're getting a team that's committed to making your vision a reality. Call or text us at 208-369-2583 or visit us at blueribbonpainting.net. Your project deserves a blue ribbon finish.
show you what I got.
With the Dairy West Fueling Station, we really wanted to create a place that our players could come and be fueled and hydrated in a healthy way, fuel their minds, fuel their bodies so they can compete at the highest level. Dairy West has really allowed us to do that, and we're excited to see what this space turns into. This is only phase one. There's many iterations to come. It's truly unique in college esports, and we're excited to see how that continues to evolve. We're really thankful for Dairy West's support and look forward to continue working with them.
Let me show you what I got.
No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great. Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena as we continue our coverage of Syracuse versus Boise State, as we continue to see if our Smash Bros players will be able to bring this match back, or if Syracuse will be able to even up the score this week, as this is the final game that they will be playing against us for the start of the season. Calling all the action, my name is Audrey, with Bryce here as we get ready to go into our next matchups. Now, we're down a game, but it is a best of 3, so we're not out of this yet, and so we get to see what might come up next. And as we're not quite sure, as we're still getting ready with those matchups and players are deciding their picks, biggest question is, like, what do you want to see?
You know, when I feel like we saw a lot of the stuff that I normally look for in a Super Smash Bros. Game. I mean, we got Donkey Kong. That's like my favorite character in the game. And not only did we get Donkey Kong, we got Donkey Kong shenanigans, and that is always a treat to watch. I brought this up a little bit earlier, and this is completely a meme matchup, so I in no way expect for this to happen, but I think it would be super funny if they did. Two players just need to come together and be like, let's both play hero and only use magic attacks that insta-kill. Like thwack or explosion. You can only use those 2 moves. So it's just 2 people. They run up to each other. They use their down special to try and get the magic that they want, and then the first person to roll a insta-kill move just wins. I just think that would be kind of funny. I do not expect that to happen at all, but I think it would add a lot of suspense, a little bit of gambling. Everybody loves gambling.
Everyone loves gambling?
Everyone loves gambling. Why do you think gacha is so popular?
Oh, you know, I was trying to think of something to say against it, but you reminded me that gachas exist. And I have played them, so I cannot argue with that. So you're not wrong.
I have too.
Yeah.
It's called Marvel Rivals Ranked. You're not paying. You don't pay with money. You pay with pieces of your sanity every single time.
Your soul to the game.
That and Overwatch. teammates are...
Imagine, I can't play multiplayer team games like that anymore. Yeah, I can't play games like that anymore. I like playing the support game, like support roles. Like I either play tank or support tank more often. And playing those solo queue hurts so much.
It hurts physically.
It's not worth it. But we're going to get into our next matchup right off the bat here. It's going to be Gokis on Joker versus Yoshi, which I believe is a new player that was added to the roster, Talia. So Talia, as far as I'm aware, is going to be their opponent here, as they're kind of testing out their potentials here, getting ready for this match. Big thing is, you know, Joker is all about stacking up their bar, getting ready for their power-up. And Yoshi has that interesting setup here, too. Actually, looks like we are testing, so all good here.
Yeah, Joker is a character that you don't see a ton online because he requires a lot of specific setup and a lot of very key inputs in order to get his combos in. So you don't see him a ton just due to a little bit of lag on the server side, but when he does work, he works incredibly well. Doesn't deal a lot of damage in one shot, but the ability to take you from 0 to 80 in a few seconds is an incredible ability. Yoshi, on the other hand, is incredibly mobile, can hit like a freight train, but is very, very vulnerable to getting in those combos, as well as doesn't really have an up special. He has a pretty good double jump, but other than that, he doesn't have a really good way to recover off of ledge. So
It also says Yoshi a lot.
yes, he does say he's like a Pokemon. He can only say his name.
It's true.
Actually, well, I mean, he can go bring.
Yeah. Well, that's a sound effect. We're going to get right into the match officially now. Seeing a little bit more back and forth here. Joker, of course, always going to have the struggle of can you find the damage without taking too much damage yourself? And as you mentioned, Yoshi can hit hard, and so that's going to be a little bit of an intimidating opponent here.
I mean, you would think that a dinosaur would hit super hard, and Yoshi definitely lives up to the expectation. Just trying to close the gap onto Joker, not really finding a ton of success in it. A good parry, but it's going to lead into the shields. Just so many attacks in there, it's infeasible to parry them all. Goki's doing a pretty good job at zoning out Yoshi, but Talia's still doing a good job getting a few hits in there. Just a little bit better range out of Goki's with the gun.
However, Arsene is close, and with all of that damage already racked up onto Talia here, could be a dangerous spot going forward. With that power boost here,
oh, the counter!
It's already massive! Wow! Across the stage, that's a knockout. That just goes to show, again, what I was just warning about with Arsene, increased power boost, increased damage, increased size of certain attacks, and being able to knock someone out from across the stage to the opposite side. He has a crazy stock knockout.
Not to mention the fact that you turn your down special, which normally builds Arsene, into one of the best counters in the game. I mean, it's only temporary, and you do lose it if you take enough damage, but it is a very helpful thing to have. Joker getting taken far off stage. Luckily, his up special is a grappling hook. And if Mabel from Gravity Falls taught us anything, a grappling hook is all you need. But I think Goki's may need a little bit more than that to keep the Yoshi off his tail.
Oh, speaking of tails, that's going to be the knockout right there. And unfortunately, going to tie up, though the Broncos might not want that here, are still pretty strong with the generation. Arsene already back into the fray, and that's going to give good opportunity potentially for a knockout, as we do see a lot of aerials. If they can get them into the air, might go right off the side. And we do see playing a little bit more intensely here. Looking for that
Just
punish, but not
shielding
going
the
there.
eggs, not letting that happen. Arsene almost out, but hasn't taken any damage. He's been able to get a lot of value out of Arsene. Talia looking for something to happen here. Tries to go for the neutral B swallow onto Joker. Not let him get, pretty much just force him down, but unfortunately for Talia, Goki's was at a high enough percent where he's able to mash out of that. Although Talia's sitting at 165%, Joker only at 62, has a chance for a second Arsene this life. So it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for the Yoshi.
Yeah, uphill battle. Maybe possible. I mean, that could have been a dangerous combo, but Goki's able to avoid it. Talia needs to find a hit here before they're found, but that air could be the potential for a punish. They are going to get back to ledge, but have to jump away before it's too late. and almost at 200%. That could be a knockout, even from Joker just, like, deciding to slap you. Like, we almost saw a knockout right there, exactly like what I was talking about. Looking for that opportunity. Goki's getting a little bit more charge onto Arsene. They are going to be launched off the side. This could be a knockout either way. Joker being light enough. Arsene is going to come out, though.
Ooh,
and that could be... I mean, we saw how much damage it could do, and that is going to be the knockout. I don't really think you can avoid a stock loss if you get hit by a single attack while Arsene is out.
Yeah, Yoshi, the purple dinosaur, is not going to survive that, and Goki still has a little bit of Arsene left to finish off hopefully start off this stock. But taking so much, oh my goodness! The spike from the ledge! Talia taking the stock, and we are back at 1-1, folks. Joker and Yoshi, one-on-one, one stock to determine it all. Who's going to take the initial lead? Talia doing a lot of damage here. Goki's already up to 50%, and honestly put on the back foot here, but he's going to respond in kind, taking this back to an even ball game.
Goki's has had control of the tempo for most of the game, so it's really a waiting game as that parry is able to get a nasty attack off, and Arsene out one more time. The fire just so much stronger. It's just such a hard thing to deal with when your primary responses are going to be running up and hitting. And we can see right now Goki's taking advantage of that, getting the grab, throwing them off ledge, looking for that punish for the recovery. Isn't able to get it because the egg is going to give a little bit of extra room. But that is still going to be the knockout. Reading that jump off ledge. And Goki's is going to create a lead for the Broncos going into this second game.
Yeah, 4-2 lead starting out for the Broncos. This is a little bit better situation than the last time, and I think Joker was the play. We saw a few times Talia was able to get the jump on him, use the eggs, use the projectiles, get in and get close. However, Joker was really able to show off why he would be a little bit better in this situation. Yoshi just got put into a few too many combos, was put in a few too many chokeholds, and just was not quite able to get out of them super easy. And I feel like it really went as well as it could for Talia. I think that Joker was just a bad matchup. However, I think it could have gone a lot worse, too. The Yoshi pick really did better than what I would have expected.
Yeah. And I mean, it is refreshing also for Goki's to have the upper hand in a matchup here with Joker, because so often when Goki's has played Joker, there has been a lot of matchups that have been poor. So it's nice to see Goki's get a little bit more room to breathe, especially getting to activate Arsene, as that is such an integral part of the kit. And it's nice to see Yoshi more, as we saw Yoshi a couple times last year, and seeing them more, especially for Syracuse, who has definitely been an intimidating opponent in the past, though not one we're afraid to fight, nor have a bad matchup against. It'll be good to see.
However,
so I'm excited to see this going forward.
Close.
Yeah.
And Boise State
And
able to
with
make
all
the
that
lead this
damage
time
already
forward.
racked
Also,
up.
if I'm not mistaken, I see Me Brawler down there.
Oh, that's
We
Ssbu.
might see Me Brawler.
Oh.
I remember this from last year.
I do remember this as well. Yeah, they swapped out some players, and we've got Me Brawler here.
So I've been following a guy on YouTube. His name is Fire the Pyro, and he plays Me Brawler competitively. And I have learned a whole bunch of just really funny stuff that you can do with Me Brawler. It's probably never going to happen, but Me Brawler's got some spooky stuff in his kit. And I know it can be said about just about every character. Every character has their tech. Every character has their way of doing things that really makes them scary, really puts them on the map.
I mean, you say that, but
then
there's Mark.
I feel like there's something really funny that Me Brawler can do. He can spawn a hurt box, which essentially means that he can cancel out almost all projectiles with his ball, his shot put. Also, something I found is that he can parry with the shot put because it has its own hurt box, and when he throws it, it's like behind his head. So if you parry it like on the few pixels that it's behind, then you B reverse, which is when you swap a neutral B's direction, you can hit somebody with the same attack that you just shot them with.
Terrifying.
And
sounds about
impractical.
right
Impractical,
for one of
yes.
the characters, because it's going to be an
Yes.
impractical thing to pull
Yes.
off, but absolutely terrifying. The one time in your life you will see it, and it's one of those moments where, like, I can see the character just looking at you going, no one will ever believe you. Parries. But that's not what we're going to be seeing.
Hand on the shoulder.
As we are going to see Syrup and Melfor duking it out this time around. Match already in, and Melfor is taking a punishment. Syrup using those walls to create a little bit of space to gather resources. Though, the anvil a little bit more constrained based on the platforms here.
Yeah, a little bit more constrained. You can see him putting up a lot more walls, playing a little bit more cowardly. He knows the destructive power of Banjo and Kazooie with the grenades, so he's just trying to keep as much distance as he can, mining up the materials, manages to get to Iron before Melfor gets up to him, but Syrup is able to recover. Not a lot of damage being taken by Syrup, but Melfor is still able to get in there and disrupt the mining, but that's not going to stop the diamond from coming up.
However, getting rid of the crafting table will.
You know, I feel like the crafting table should just go away.
Oh, and it did.
Oh, I mean, like, but he can just place another
it's
one
true.
down. Like, it should be like the Wonder Wings. Like,
oh no!
Oh no!
Wait, no!
No! Melfor, he lives! Oh, Wonder Wing! No! Wait, another Wonder Wing, he's back! Melfor recovers! He has to use 2 Wonder Wings to do it, but he gets back! The Steve walls are not enough, but there is.
But Diamond Pickaxe.
Yeah. Diamond Pickaxe, it's enough to melt through Obsidian, and apparently Banjo's and or Kazooie's.
Melfor is taking a lot of punishment in these matchups. Keeps getting the, what if I deny your primary recover ability attacks? And you know, that is going to be the danger of this matchup. Melfor knows that any opportunity that they get knocked off the map, Steve could just deny that recovery. So I'm going to be careful here going forward. Stock down, and unfortunately for the Broncos here, Syrup not in high damage percentages compared to Melfor. It's a little bit of a rough spot. Minecart isn't going to trap him like last time, but that could be an interesting combo with the Wonder Wing. Not going to go as far as they want, though.
Yeah, the Orange really in a good spot here. They're at 100%, but so are the Broncos. Not a whole lot of difference between them, except for in stock. You have to keep in mind, Melfor is already down a stock. Never mind, makes that 2. Melfor's down 2 stocks, but looking at Syrup, he is at 100%. There's a chance that he could take a stock here, make it a little bit closer and not be 3-0'd, but a good combo out of Steve is just going to leave him at 66%.
The issue right now is finding an opportunity to even get towards Syrup with all of these walls in place. I mean, the resources available, they are running out. Melfor is able to slowly break through here. They do see that opportunity, but they gotta watch out because the diamond weapons do hurt. Reading that they would want to go for that attack there. Melfor able to get the stock knockout, and although they might not be able to get all the stocks, we'll have to see.
I was about to ask,
you can never say no. Getting any stocks is good here.
I was about to ask, is this 1940s Berlin because of all the walls that came up? But just like then, the walls came crumbling down at the worst possible time. Unfortunately, the Magma Block is not going to take a stock. Steve, you have to work for your kills. You can't just get them off rip.
With that, we are going to see if we can hold on for a little longer. There's one Wonder Wing left to try and find something here, but...
Just a good side air is going to take him out. Well played by Melfor, managed to get the 1. Just wasn't quite enough in the end.
Going to result in, I believe that is a tie-up.
I think Syracuse is in the lead.
They might be in the lead.
It was 1-1.
I think they're in the lead now.
Yeah.
However, not by much. And so now that the scary player that is Syrup, at least for us right now, is out of the way, there is still opportunity within these matchups to see where we could go. And it does look like I can see Supersonic sitting down. And from what I understand, we're getting a little bit of a run back.
A grudge match, if you will.
Min Min versus Olimar, so Supersonic versus Ado Bears. And we saw that can go very brutally for Olimar with just the presence that Min Min has on the field. But with that experience, there is potential, as always.
Nah, he'd win.
He win?
He win.
I was setting it up for that potential, and then you say nah.
No,
with me?
That's what I. Nah. Supersonic
I got you to
win.
put your head down.
Yes.
It's
No,
working,
my head wasn't all the way down. I was like this because of something stupid I said.
You're not going to
So really, I get to add 1 to my count because I made myself do it.
I'm ignoring this.
Okay,
anyway.
that's fair. I do not blame you. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I need another monster. I've already had 2 today, breaking my 1 a day rule, but I don't even.
You might need water. Have you considered you might need water?
Okay.
Good job. So, as we're getting ready for this matchup, you know, Min Min versus Olimar, we talked about it a little bit, but one thing I'd like to highlight that we didn't get to talk about so much is Min Min's arm swapping. Because a lot of times the primary mechanic of ARMS, the game, and her character in Smash Bros. Is that you can swap out arms that have different abilities and different things that they can do. For Min Min in Smash Bros., she only swaps out one arm. One arm always stays the same. But then notably, I wanted to call out that she was changing around a lot. Ado Bears, you know, at the beginning was going from the ranged and the boomerang, but then stuck with the heavy arm for majority of the end of the game, which is why we kept freaking out because it kept hitting like a truck.
Yeah, the thing is about Min Min is that you always have the range attack arm, the dragon arm that can shoot fire. That's your right arm as Min Min. It's the left arm that changes. So there isn't really a reason to keep the dragon arm for a super long time. However, you are going to be swapping between the power fist arm and the boomerang arm. The boomerang arm can move through tiles and is a really good way to deny ledge. So
yeah,
because
somebody it goes through the ledge.
Yeah, it goes through the ledge.
Most of the time you're safe from an attack, but unfortunately with Min Min it just clips through and will hit you if you're not safe, unfortunately.
And then,
so that can deny ledge. And I've seen some very unfortunate deaths where someone was just right there, got hit by the boomerang, and then falls back because they don't have recovery anymore.
And then, not to mention the power fist, which is a massive punch.
Yeah, and was kind of the determiner for those last matches.
Let's just say the toughness of Olimar was not higher than the strength, and he failed his save throws.
No one's ever going to understand our references.
Hey, if one person understands my references, that makes it okay with me.
Yeah, it's me on the desk with you.
That means I'm successful. And it looks like Supersonic is fairly pumped up. He's ready to go. Olimar and his Pikmin, we're fairly familiar with them. The purple Pikmin are the ones you want. Yellows have a good hitbox and can stun. You love your blues, not the music, but the Pikmin. Because of the
blues is still good too as music, but not relevant to the matchup here, as the Pikmin are going to be thrown out, getting ready to go here. Luckily, one of the things about the boomerang arm that's a little less scary for Olimar that you did mention is that his recovery is very good, and oftentimes he's not going to be going to ledge, he's going to be going above it. And as we get into the matchup here, Olimar putting on a bit more pressure than before, able to get those Pikmin thrown out and chipping away with the damage. Moving in closer here, trying to find an opportunity, but Min Min does have some close range attacks that you have to be wary of.
I think most of her attacks could be classified as close range because they do have to come from her in order to get that
Technically, she is
far.
punching you.
Yeah.
So it's the longest close range attack you'll ever be hit by, but it's accurate.
Yeah.
Damage flips a little bit here as Supersonic was in the lead, but, you know, once again, that chip damage going through strong.
Thing is, with Olimar, you don't exactly have to be at a lower percent in order to KO. As long as you're consistently chipping out your opponent, getting them to a spot where you can get in with your purple Pikmin, get in with your blues, get ready to get a throw or a good smash attack, as long as they're within the range, you can make something happen. Olimar isn't exactly a powerhouse, but getting them to a high enough percentage allows even something like him, who may not hit as hard, to get KOs fairly consistently. That being said, both players at 120 and above percentage points, almost getting hit off the rip. Big damage.
Danger here.
Off the stage, manages to float over Min Min, bamboozling Min Min for just another attack.
Not for long, though, if Olimar's not careful here. Good timing on the attack and able to get back safely onto stage and continue the Pikmin onslaught, but you have to be careful. It could be enough, but maybe not. Min Min holding strong on that ledge, not able to punish immediately because, again, the range is just so dangerous. And although they have that opportunity,
with the down neutral, was able to take out Supersonic for the first stock, but I'm sure Supersonic is about to do his signature move. Might have taken a stock, but I'm getting ready to take yours back.
Yeah, and I mean, getting so high in percentage here, there's an opportunity for it, but it does set the tone of the game here for Supersonic. Able to throw out the purple Pikmin, fully matured with the flower, so even scarier than it was before. If they're not careful, can get that one good grab and a launch. We do have blue on the field, so like I said, those throws can be scarier.
Yeah, Ado Bears, though, piling on the damage. Supersonic already up to almost 100% here. And, I mean,
shield. Oh!
Ado Bears at 196. The grab almost comes through, which would have broken through that shield, but Ado Bears knows better.
Oh!
And a good up air is going to take Supersonic down to his last stock. Ado Bears still holding strong at 206% off the right side.
Oh, there it is.
And a good little Pikmin throw is going to take that stock.
What we've been waiting for, that accurate Pikmin snipe off ledge. But 2-1 here now. Supersonic has a hill to climb.
That was a good pick, man.
You can't hear it where at your chair or couch relaxing, but that one got some reactions from our friends here. Everyone, in fact. But the players, none the wiser to our bad jokes up here, continuing the battle. And unfortunately for the Broncos, Olimar taking a beating off stage, and that could be dangerous. This could be the knockout. Trying for that recovery.
No.
Gets stuck on the stage.
Oh, no.
There was a
Ado
moment
Bears.
there.
Ado Bears manages to keep Supersonic off the stage, and that's going to be enough. Even without any Pikmin, Olimar has a great recovery, but unfortunately, it's not that great. It's no Snake recovery. It's no Steve recovery.
Why does Steve have recovery?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
What does he have? Creative mode?
Yeah, kind of is what it feels like when you're playing against him in this game. The only thing that makes it survival is the fact that you can, in fact, take his stocks. But this is going to bring us to our last matchup of the night, which is going to be Mata versus Ssbu. The primary way that the Broncos can tie up this match, as far as I can tell, is to not lose a single stock, which would allow them to continue into a tiebreaker, potentially bringing them to Game 3.
Yeah, so not the last match. Potentially not the last match of the night.
Potentially not the last match. But Syracuse has put them in a rough spot here. They want to even it up for the week. They don't want to be going home 3-1 in the PEC. But the Broncos have an opportunity. Mata is probably the strongest player on our roster right now. And it looks to be pulling out Greninja, getting a little bit of range for this brawler fight.
Yeah, for a little bit of me brawler, bringing out the Greninja, a pick that we don't actually see a whole lot. We saw, I mean, Greninja plays very similarly to Pikachu, and that's another one of Mata's main characters.
Mm-hmm.
So
likes the Pokemon.
Yeah, well, I mean, who doesn't? Pokemon's awesome.
Of course.
And Greninja is a little bit different to Pikachu because you do have a little bit more close range options than you do with Pikachu. Pikachu, you rely a ton on your specials. You rely on your Skull Bash, you rely on your Thunder, you rely on your Thunder Jolt. However, with Greninja, the only special that you're really relying on is your Water Shuriken in order to get that damage piled on. He plays a lot like Sheik in the fact that a lot of your damage comes from your neutrals. You want to get in there, get those combos going, get them off stage, and not let them recover. Greninja has one of the best recoveries in the game, just like Pikachu does with Aqua Jet. You not only have your double jumps, which are higher than a lot of other characters, but you also have what is essentially 2 recoveries that can go in any direction. Plus, they can damage opponents and knock them away, too. So the real win condition for Mata here is to let Mii Brawler not play the game. Conversely, Mii Brawler is looking for a very similar situation. Get right up in Greninja's face, not let him do anything, get him locked in the command grab, get him locked in grabs, combos, just throwing him into the dirt, not let him do anything.
Mii Brawler is looking to grapple, while Greninja is looking for those ranged attacks. A tale as old as time, you know, when it comes to those matchups, you know, the fated matchups. It's the melee versus the range.
It's the rogue versus the barbarian.
I'm so glad that you knew that I was setting that up. I appreciate it, yeah.
Yeah. But in we go to what could be the final match of the night. Greninja, Mii Brawler, Ssbu versus Mata.
Beautiful setup.
Beautiful setup.
We'll roll back on that one. That's okay. Because, again, we can just keep talking about how exciting those matchups are. I mean, Greninja is a character you don't see a ton, I'd say, in, like, I don't actually think I've seen Greninja in the PEC.
I think we saw him once.
Maybe
because Mata played him once last year.
That's right.
He's not. Greninja isn't one of the. I don't think Greninja is one of their favorite picks. I think that would fall towards more of the Pikachu, because we see a lot more of the Pikachu and the Richter.
Yeah.
However, I do think that Greninja is a good fallback option. It provides a little bit of utility that you don't really get with some other characters. You're a little faster, you can jump a little higher. You trade off a little bit of the damage that you get with Pikachu, and of course the damage you get with Richter as well. But I think that in the end it is worth it as long as you're able to play around that speed. You can play around being a lot faster than your opponent.
Yeah, that speed is going to be really good against like Mii Brawler as well, because Mii Brawler isn't a super fast like brawler. They have some speed, but by no means are they like the quick get in your face punch. That is reserved for, and I lost his name.
Mii Sword Fighter.
No, the boxer.
Little Mac.
Little Mac. There we go. Yeah.
Assist trophy Jeff when they add the land shark to this game.
With that, now we will jump into this matchup. I'm going to continue to ignore what was said.
Ignore me at this point.
As we're already seeing what we were concerned about. Syracuse able to get up close and personal, get a couple quick kicks and punches off. However, Greninja going to respond in kind here. Start to gain control of this middle area. Mata looking for that opportunity. Ooh, big damage, good to see. And avoiding some of the attacks here that they want to get off. Good spot to be if you're the Broncos.
Yeah, good little flaming drop kick out of Mii Brawler, trying to get back to stage, but with Mata putting such a lot of pressure on Ssbu, that is going to be an early stock. Mata is doing a great job keeping his percentage down. Remember, he loses one stock, and the chance for one stock, and the chance for the Broncos is completely over. Their strategy right now is completely dependent on Mata bringing them to the tiebreaker. And Ssbu probably knows this as well. All he needs is one stock in order to secure the win for Syracuse.
Syracuse can choose to be a little more reckless here. You are correct, and that is going to be rough because, as we just saw, that could have been a knockout if we were higher up on the screen to start. Luckily for Mata, that was not the case, and I think you can see the intense concentration right now on their face as they are trying to figure out the best moves to take without taking too much damage here from Ssbu. And you can see, again, that safety as they both double shield there. They're not wanting to take chances. There's room for that in Smash Bros. Matches, but this is where you truly...
Oh, no!
And that is exactly what we were worried about.
Yeah, that is not great if you are Boise State. Syracuse getting the stock that they needed, and that pretty much secures the deal for Syracuse in this one.
True, but we're not out of the match yet, so we do get to see who gets the bragging rights out of this, though. Will Boise State still be able to take down this player? Mata now has the opportunity to just kind of go all out here. We see that. Bringing out the attacks, going for that recovery on the ledge, trying to get this stock away from Ssbu here.
Yeah, and good aerials out of Mata is able to take Ssbu down. I mean, Mii Brawler is really good on the ground, but just like his little Mac cousin, he is not super great in the air.
Yeah,
but
if you get
Ssbu
him
knows
up,
this.
He's not going to be able to go back down. However, trying to give Mata a little bit of a taste of their own medicine, trying to launch him up in the air, not going to come through like they want it to, but that's okay.
Yeah, fishing for a few aerials, not really able to find anything. Just actually found something really good right there. Greninja with the fast fall, trying to make something happen, but Ssbu is not going to let him on the stage that easy.
Yep, having to jump up, use the platform for a little bit of safety here. Holding strong at 100. Mii looking to close that out. Ssbu wants to get that grab combo off. Not going to happen just yet. Mata wanting to try and close this out with a little bit less damage here.
Ooh, big damage out of Ssbu, trying to finish off the stock at 141%. It should be fairly easy for Mii Brawler, but Mata is not going to let him get that easy. Ssbu really just looking for that final hit that he needs. Pretty much anything will kill at this point, and nope, apparently not, because Mata manages to tech that, get it right back to the stage, but doesn't manage to get that one.
You can't tech that, though. Can't tech when you're right on the ledge like that, unfortunately. And we're going to go 1-1, finding out who might close out this matchup with a win.
Ooh.
Trading blows back and forth. Mata preferring much more melee right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot that Me Brawler's real. Scooby actually is doing a really good job at staying away, but Mata's doing a bit better at closing the gap, making use of that speed, getting in, getting the grabs, getting the combos started. Me Brawler off the stage, misses the flaming drop kick, but is able to get back on stage.
Still close enough, but damage has been racked up, and the Broncos are able to keep it going here. Going off the stage, getting a little bit risky with it, but that is holding strong. Mata still has a lot of room, and they are able to get that final attack off. The Broncos taking the game here, but not the match.
Yeah, that was an incredibly close game, about as close as we could ask for. I mean,
and a lot of pressure for Mata. You know, it's the same thing as like crew battles where we're like, all right, you're the last player.
You're the anchor.
Now take every single stock.
Now
like,
take
it's
12
a lot,
stocks.
Right? I mean, Smash Bros. Is a very complicated game in the damage, and sometimes it's just really hard to call that. And when you're in that pressure zone, trying to get all of that is very hard. So it's a really like a testament to how well Mata was playing that they managed to stay with that so long.
Yeah, I was honestly really impressed. Mata did a great job at taking him out, took out Me Brawler all the way. If it happened a little bit sooner, I think they would have had a little bit better of a chance. The issue is that they just could not get the stocks in the beginning. Yeah. They got one or two, but it just wasn't quite enough to make up the deficit.
Yeah, which just goes to show Scooby as well, playing very well, realizing that, and able to keep that going. But as we're getting ready to close out this match, we always have to take a moment to thank the National Guard and let you know that what if you could pursue college or your dream career while serving your country and getting amazing benefits? The Idaho Air National Guard, just one weekend a month, 8 months out of the year. You get tuition assistance, signing bonuses, healthcare, zero down home loans, and high-tech job training, all while keeping your civilian life, job, and goals right here in Idaho. Whether you're studying, working, or building your future, the Guard enhances it all while giving you leadership skills and lifelong connections. Ready to have it all? The Idaho Air National Guard is your pathway to education, career success, and purpose. And once again, thanks to ICCU for their continued support of Boise State Esports. Thanks to ICCU, Boise State Esports has won multiple national championships and piled up more than 1,500 wins. ICCU, looking after your daily balance. Visit ICCU.com as we get ready to continue our climb throughout this. This is just the first week of Power Esports Conference, so although the Broncos are not able to take home another win to the end of the week, there is still more coming for these upcoming weeks as we get ready to go in. And what an awesome match to end on. It was still a very action-packed one, and I always love seeing Smash Bros. And all of the characters and how they are going to play, and we'll continue to do that as we get ready for these coming weeks. And as we continue these coming weeks too, we'd always love to call out the Seshal, as we will continue to play against all of these opponents throughout the week. So we're starting with Syracuse, but we will be moving on to the Spartans next week, as the fun of the Power Esports Conference is that will be the entire week we will be playing against them. So get ready to check in next week as we get ready for those matchups. But that is all we have for you tonight as we are continuing. So be sure to check in as we continue to check all of our games next week and the weeks beyond. We have plenty more action coming for you soon. So thank you and enjoy the top 5 plays of the game.
That was probably his best shot to get that stock, but now Supersonic looking to finish off Min Min, currently at 184%, well within range to be taken down. One good purple Pikmin will do the Min Min in.
Them safe as Sarvi is now just trying to find that angle here. Gets a good parry onto the axe, going to reduce, just deny any damage from it, but it's not enough if they can't find a way to break through, and that primary responses are going to be running up and hitting, and we can see right now Goki's taking advantage of that, getting the grab, throwing them off ledge, looking for that punish for the recovery, isn't able to get it because the egg is going to give a little bit of extra room, but that is going to even get towards Syrup with all of these walls in place. I mean, the resources available, they are running out. Melfor is able to slowly break through here. They do see that opportunity, but they gotta watch out because the diamond weapons do avoiding some of the attacks here that they want to get off. Good spot to be if you're the Broncos.
Good little flaming dropkick out of Me Brawler, trying to get back to stage, but with Mata putting such a lot of pressure on
God.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Let me show you what I got.
With the Dairy West Fueling Station, we really wanted to create a place that our players could come and be fueled and hydrated in a healthy way, fuel their minds, fuel their bodies so they can compete at the highest level. Dairy West has really allowed us to do that, and we're excited to see what this space turns into. This is only phase one. There's many iterations to come. It's truly unique in college esports, and we're excited to see how that continues to evolve. We're really thankful for Dairy West's support and look forward to continue working with them.
Let me show you what I got.
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app. I know this car got you through college, but check this out. In my credit, your credit score looks good. And there's a great rate on this auto loan so we can score a roomier ride. Whoa, who's driving this thing? The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You've got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
At Blue Ribbon Painting, we're proud to be a locally family-owned and operated business dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's freshening up your home with interior or exterior painting, or tackling a commercial project, we've got you covered. When you choose Blue Ribbon Painting, you're not just hiring painters. You're getting a team that's committed to making your vision a reality. Call or text us at 208-369-2583 or visit us at blueribbonpainting.net. Your project deserves a blue ribbon finish.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. It's finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great. Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. As if you thought we were done with PEC, we're just getting started now to join Mountain West here as we continue Mountain West. This isn't the first week. We're getting more coverage of all of our games, and we're going to check in and see how the Super Smash Bros. Team is doing against Hawaii. As a, classic opponent of Boise State, we'll be probably seeing some familiar characters as we get ready to call all the action for our second Smash Bros. Game of the night. We will be going back to the crew battle format that we are familiar with. For those of you who might not be familiar, I feel like it's a good time to probably reassess and update since now, we're on duels for PEC, so we got to get used to our different setups.
Yeah, all reliable. Crew battle is essentially you have 3 stocks, and depending on how many stocks that you have left after the end of a game, you take that many stocks going into the next one. So instead of 4 1v1s, there's the potential for 8 total games. So
we could be here a while.
Yeah, we could be here a while. It all just kind of depends on how quickly Boise State wants to get this done, or how quickly Hawaii, or it really just depends on how quickly the teams want to get it done.
This ends up typically being more of an endurance game, though, because the longer you can waste your opponent's time, delete their stocks, and hang on to your own stocks, the better your team will be hanging on as a result. So as we get ready to go into these matchups, we'll have to see how these first games go. Notably, the big difference also between Crew Battle and what we were just watching is that the blind picks versus knowing who you're going up against are a lot more varied. But not going to matter right now, as we are going to be going straight into this first matchup, and we are going to be seeing Boise State on Rosalina and Darth Wampa on Roy, my Fire Emblem, my favorite. We never have any Fire Emblem issues here. We're going to be jumping right back into it with Hawaii just beating up Rosalina, getting close to that into the melee, and it's not looking good as the stock is going to go down.
Yeah, Rosalina not quite able to get in there. Luma is not getting the value that we would have thought. It's a little bit of an issue if Marth is able, or if Roy is able to get in there and take Luma out super fast. Although it could be good for Rosalina though, if they're able to chip out the Roy, it should be a little bit easier for him to get the stuff done.
This will be the appearance of Starmies for Boise State here as they join us to play when we need the time. And so we're going to be continuing this matchup here. Darth Wampa going in for attack after attack, not quite finding the opportunities we need.
Yeah, Roy is able to get quite a bit of stuff done. Starmie's looking for a way back onto the stage. Luma does come back at the perfect time to get some damage in, but not quite enough to KO. Just looking for a good pick. The percentages are high for both sides. E3s is the Roy player who is going up against him, and it looks like he is going to be able to get that second stock as well. Rosalina in a very precarious spot, down 2 stocks, but I will say Reese is in an even worse position.
Yeah, a hard position to hold here, and although the primary issue is percentage, stock count is giving them a little bit more confidence. They know this isn't going to be their knockout, and we are going to get that nice knockout there from Boise State off the ledge, bringing it 2-1. Going to have to be careful if you want to try and take this back.
Yeah, E3s is trying to get a little bit more damage in here, but Starmies is doing a good job at keeping themselves away. Although there's only so far that you can keep yourselves as Rosalina and Luma, as you are still a primarily melee-focused character. You just do not want to get in front of that Roy sword. He hits like a freight train, and Reese knows that. He wants to get up close and personal, get a bunch of damage in, and we're seeing it right here. Starmie's not quite able to get into a good spot, but is able to get back to the ledge and hopefully try another time for an attack.
Ooh, shields back and forth, trying to find that one opportunity, and that is going to go through, but it's not going to be the knockout. The Broncos holding on. Starmies able to find some momentum here and get off the ledge and continue the offensive onto the other side. Wow, what a comeback there from getting a knockout, but it's going to be responded to with However, the Broncos coming out of that matchup with only one stock left on the Roy. Not a bad spot for how much punishment they took at the beginning there.
Not bad at all. Definitely far from the worst thing that could have happened there. I will say it would have been a little bit better if that stock came in a little earlier, but still can't complain about being only behind one stock instead of two.
One
or
is
sometimes
doable.
Even three.
I mean, I feel like we have a little bit of a motto when it comes to like crew battle stocks. Like 1 is doable, 2 is not that bad, 3 is pushing it, 4 is rough. Like that's generally how I look at it. And then of course if you're 2 characters down, so 6.
Yeah, we found ourselves there a few times, and it is a rough position to claw your way
good luck,
back
Anchor.
From. Yeah, good luck, Anchor. So it looks like we are going to be seeing Melfor come out again, and he's going to be on the Bowser this time instead of the usual Banjo and Kazooie.
I mean, for crew battles, Bowser is a great pick, able to soak up some damage, keep those stocks for longer while Roy has to try and deal damage. Though, unfortunately, Bowser's not going to be immune to this fire. Roy just having those powerful flame attacks that he has access to will make this much harder. As we get ready for this, we are going to get the reset here from Hawaii and begin the matchup using Flame Breath from a distance, but you have to be careful. Bowser has a pretty strong grab and many short-range attacks that deal quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, really good command grab as well as a lot of really good jabs. As you're seeing right here, Roy's just not quite able to recover.
And just like that.
Yeah, just like that. Bowser was able to take it. Melfor getting the first stock of the game, not losing one of his own. That is the textbook scenario where you want to be.
Yeah, the only issue they have now is that they know that Bowser is the current player that they are going to be going up against, and because of that, Melfor does have to deal with the potential counter pick that they're going to be going against. Never a fun thing to be with, but a heavy character does present challenges for any team to figure out how to deal with.
Yeah, especially if Melfor does that again, what he did to
Right?
Roy. Just sitting on the edge of the screen and punch him in the face, punch him in the face, punch him in the face.
If we weren't careful about our monologuing there, the match would have been over before we actually started talking about the gameplay.
Yeah, I needed to shut up there. I just needed to cast the game. But moving into game 2, it looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit of Kazuya action, a little bit of oh no, that's not Street Fighter, that's Fatal Fury.
Good job. I was going to say, they're there, but not right now. As we get those combos that Kazuya can pull off, has some strong stuff, and alternative modes to deal with, and the laser.
Does look like this is going to be T-Sean, the Kazuya player out of Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors. Does look like Melfor does have a little bit of an advantage in the beginning, but I mean, Kazuya just has the ability to deal so much damage. That is the 10-step combo, the 10-ingredient recipe, if you will. Trying to hit it again, but isn't going to be as successful the second time.
Melfor knows what to look out for and is trying to be mindful. Down a stock is not great, especially with another powerful attack going off. All of that bulk doesn't matter if you're just getting hit like you're a normal character, though pulling Kazuya onto the ledge and getting the fire to prevent them from recovery is a great way to even things up a little bit here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you can hit that hard. If Bowser can get you off the edge, I mean, you cannot return with Kazuya's
Oh, and the grab!
The command grab. We love the command. We love Bowser's command grab.
I love playing Bowser and getting people with that move. It's so satisfying. We go up and then we go down, and we see, similar to before, Melfor trying to go for that denial, but that's not going to work out. And another quick Kazuya combo goes through. One down for Melfor, 2 left for Kazuya. And now on the ledge, this could be a dangerous spot, even though they just respawned. The Broncos are taking a lot of punishment here. Good shield to protect, but it's not enough if they can't find a way to break through.
Another grab out of T-Shun and just using that hitbox on Kazuya to his advantage, getting him through the ledge. Does manage to get his powered up grab. How will he use it? The 10-step combo is coming out, but it does not matter. Melfor is going to drop kick him straight in the face. You are not getting that through a second time, good sir.
Good read there from the Broncos. Hawaii, however, tried and true, launch him into the air. What will the lizard do if he doesn't have the land?
Yeah.
And so Hawaii is able to reduce the stocks there, bringing it slightly back to their lead. But we're kind of going back and forth here right now.
We're going a little, we are kind of going back and forth. We're going from Hawaii in the lead to Hawaii at tied to Hawaii in the lead. So it'll depend on how they counter this next one. It's fairly safe to assume that Boise State is going to get the stock, whether it takes one stock or not. Hopefully it doesn't take any. Hopefully they can pull a Melfor and
right?
get it done, but you never know. A lot of weirder stuff has happened.
Weirder stuff has happened in crew battles, and oftentimes I feel like the best case scenario is not the one that we see just due to the nature of the game. But the Broncos are prepared for this, and they're ready to pick their next player, which is going to be
Gokis
on Snake. We didn't see as much of what they would want out of that while they were fighting Steve earlier, but Kazuya is a character that cannot put up barriers to prevent those grenades. Just can try and punch them.
The iconic box comes out of Snake, and that's how you know that the match is underway. Kazuya having to fight through a lot of projectiles and explosives, almost the opposite of what Roy had to deal with last time. Oh no, Gokis!
Oh, wait, no.
He almost flubbed his ultimate. He almost flubbed it, but he got it. He got the recovery, just barely. Good thing that C4 resets the recovery. Otherwise, he would have been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, trying to stall out near the ledge as best as Boise State can. Wanting to keep Kazuya near because the easier the knockout, the better.
Yeah, T-Sean doing a good job at keeping the distance, using his neutral specials to get that damage racked up. He really wants to get in close, take on Snake head to head. Snake wants anything but that.
Ooh, get the grab off too, and that's going to bring Kazuya over to the ledge. Incendiaries go off. That's not going to prevent him from getting back, but he is going to go straight back to the air. And is going to get launched the other direction too. Snake just
the
C4! The C4 going to clear that up for the Broncos as they keep it close. Taking those one-stock games just very cleanly.
Yeah, clean one stock, clean play, just not letting yourself lose a stock. That's exactly what you want to do. However, like we were saying a little earlier, this gives Hawaii the chance to counterpick into the Snake, which is it can be done. You can win the counterpick. It is not something that's detrimental.
Yeah, it's not. We're not saying the counterpick is an instant, right?
However,
but it does
gives
present
a lot
challenge.
Of an advantage.
The information is very key in crew battles. I mean, a big part of crew battles is that guessing game of who do you think they're going to play next? What do you think we're going to have to deal with? Because even when you're choosing to pick to go against someone else with your own counterpick, you have to think about how that character might stack up against future characters too. If you win the counterpick, now you need to be hard to counterpick as well. And so there's a lot of thought that goes into it. Snake being a character with a lot of range, there is options for that, but it'll be a big question. But what I wasn't expecting is Robin. And I am very happy to see that. Robin being a fun character with their spells mechanic, one of the earlier spell characters in the game, where they have a couple different options and they have all of their charges you can see right above their head. And they're going to use all of those options to try and slowly whittle you down. I have to be careful using too many of them, though, as it can...
Everything has a limit. Everything's got a durability. So Robin really has to make the most out of everything. And that will be Melona of Hawaii.
Yep.
Coming out this time and giving Snake a little bit of his own taste of his own medicine with the arc stuff. Just trying to get some damage in a little bit early. Grenade comes out, hits him with the grenade, but not with the grenade, if you know what I mean. And by that I mean just hit by the shell of the grenade and not the explosion.
And while we're working on our wordplay over here, Snake almost getting knocked out is able to deal with the recover, but hasn't been able to get as much damage. Try and find that opportunity close range here. Robin not so strong in this moment. Still has the opportunity though, as luckily the wand does double as a sword.
The grenade that just fell onto Melona was kind of funny.
Never a good feeling there. Yeah. Let's see. Now off ledge could be dangerous, and that is going to be a knockout for Gokis. I think that was a spike. It was hard to tell, but Melona is able to take the first stock of the game.
Yeah, Robin has a lot of really fun gimmicks that they can pull out of their pocket, and Melona is really doing putting everything to good use.
Ooh, but so is Gokis.
Yeah, Gokis with the grenades, with the explosives, is able to make a little bit of room for himself, just not quite able to close the distance the same way that he would like to.
Setting up some traps near the platform. As Robin goes nearby, it could be dangerous, but going in for those melee brawl moments instead. Robin getting pretty close to a scary spot spot here. Good parry from Goki's, keeping that damage low. Robin going to need to recharge soon on some of these abilities.
Ooh, Goki's getting a lot of damage there. Melona at 162. Not a bad spot to be if you are Goki's at the moment. Very, very easy to mess up and get the kill. And just like we saw, good old Up B is able to take down the stock, bring it back to 2-2. Goki's really needs to find a lot of damage here, especially with the amount of damage Melona is laying on.
A nice spot here for the Broncos. There wasn't too much damage difference going in, but Melona has definitely been changing that. Trying to find a way to dodge, does get around the spell and is able to get a grab off, but not able to continue that combo, taking more damage. Hawaii just continued to rack it up.
Unfortunately, it seems like Snake is hitting himself with his explosives more than he's hitting the enemy here.
The side effect of working with so many grenades, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you play with bombs, they're going to blow up in your hands, and Snake is learning that firsthand. Goki's not quite able to close the distance, and Robin still has the good sword. Nope, never mind, he does not have the good sword. He's got the bad sword now while it's on recharge. And if Goki's can close the distance, this is a good chance to get a lot of damage laid on before that sword recharges. But I don't think that's going to happen before.
Unlikely as, yeah, the stock is going to be taken there. Boise State on their last stock in this matchup. Not impossible to come back from this here, but the damage is making it a lot more of a problem.
Yeah, we're seeing the counter pick conundrum.
There it
and Goki's is going to go down. Melona is going to actually have 2 stocks left this time, as opposed to 1.
And Robin going to get a little reminder that there's other Fire Emblem characters in this game.
Yep.
Much to
there's
my
also
sadness.
Chrom, who is also playable.
Chrom's
because
okay.
we didn't have enough Fire Emblem characters.
Because we didn't have enough anime guys with hair, with swords.
To be fair, it is a Japanese company, and what would Japan be without anime?
Or anime boys with swords.
That's fair.
There's a lot of
don't forget about Pyramithra, the anime women with swords too.
Anime women with swords. Yeah.
Oh, and there's I guess there's Lucina and Byleth, and I guess technically Robin, because you can play Robin as male or female in Fire Emblem. There's too many Fire Emblem characters.
Suffice it to say, there's a lot of Fire Emblem characters, and most of them have swords.
Yes. Actually, I think all of them have swords.
True.
Yeah.
At least one sword.
Yeah, all of them have at least one option that is a sword, but it does look like Mata is going to be anchoring this time, bringing out the Pikachu. A little surprised I didn't see it any sooner, but it's good to see that we have the Pikachu Libre coming out.
Pikachu is going to be bringing those electric attacks against Robin's own electricity. We'll have to see who has the strongest shock potential here for what could be the final game, as Mata will have to chew through these 2 stocks and then 3 more if Boise State wants to come back from this. As we get ready to start the match, we are going to see a little bit more of that projectile game going back and forth. But Pikachu has a lot of room to work with. However, just going to come up and smack with the sword too.
Currently on Final Destination, the flattest map in the game, really evenly helps both of these players, since both have projectiles that they would really like to hit each other with. However, Mata is at a little bit of a disadvantage here, since Robin has the ability to close the gap. Although, with that being said, Mata's starting to get a little bit of his win condition in, just running in and getting some stuff done, but with Robin having the ability to heal himself with his down special, it is definitely helping him
It's a little scarier to immediately run in against Robin, and we can see that damage is slowly racking up for Pikachu. However, that's the combo we're looking for, getting that back and forth that players can't really respond to.
Big damage.
Crazy exchange on the ledge. Mata's going to have to be careful on this recover, not actually able to avoid the arc fire here, and that
does
suck.
Melona does end up missing that, and a good thunder out of Mata is going to take Melona down to their last stock.
This is a dangerous game for Mata to be playing, but one that they have to. Dodging all the thunder, but not able to dodge the aerial attack there. That is going to be a stock down for the Broncos.
Yeah, 1 stock down. Mata playing on their last 2 stocks. Robin looking to take at least one more, in order to give Hawaii a better chance. Melona looking for a good engage, not quite finding it, loses the good sword in the process. Arc Flash comes through, doesn't find anything, and Mata is going to take that opportunity and run with it.
As Pikachu would. you know, reaffirming with the name call out there too in the game. But now, just need to play that very dangerous game. Like I said before, bob and weave here. Look for that. Maybe go a little greedy for that potential knockout, but it might be worthwhile if you can end the game quickly. Now just knocking Robin around back and forth.
Yeah, you still have at least one set left to play. You might as well knock one game out as quick as you can.
And I mean, if you can save the stocks for it, always a good spot. 153, Robin in the danger zone here. Getting hit by any of those could be bad. Malona is doing some good stuff, but is not. Wow! Oh, if that was the other direction, that would have been the end, but Malona is able to hang on, and Mata has to find another opening.
Good little DI is going to keep Malona in the game, but it's not going to work twice.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do when you're on the same side of the stage that you're being launched.
That's true. Directional inputs only help so much, and the Rainbow Warriors are now down to their last player.
They still have the advantage, though, here with the stock count going to be 2 to 3 going into it. Mata is going to have to take 3 stocks while keeping 1 around.
It's like Doctor Strange when he went 1. But instead of 1 universe... Okay, I'm going to finish my thought, and then I have something to say. Instead of one universe, you can only lose 1 stock. I found it really weird that 1 universe out of infinite, because infinite universes insinuates infinite universes that any outcome would happen.
I don't think it was the 1 universe. It was the 1, like, situation. Like, they were talking about this 1 sequence of events where this would work. But regardless, timelines don't matter here. We're in a weird world where a bunch of different groups collide and the franchises decide to beat each other up. And we're going to jump into this match where we've got Small Left with Pyra Mithra trying to match that speed of Pikachu with some speed of their own here, getting right into the match. Pikachu using that agility to their advantage. Mata able to dodge around the sword swings. Big challenge here for Pyra Mithra is going to be the fact that they don't have as much range opportunities as Pikachu does. Notably, I keep saying Pyra Mithra, and that's because it's not 1 character, but 2 that you can swap between here, and Small Left can switch from a speedy Mithra here to a fiery and powerful Pyra.
Yeah, it's a 2-in-1 Head and Shoulders shampoo and conditioner. And we see Pyra come out getting a little bit of that damage.
I think that their hair looks too good for it to be 2-in-1.
Hey,
you take that back.
Don't you be dissing 2-in-1 shampoo.
I will be dissing 2-in-1 shampoo.
That is the best kind of shampoo and conditioner. It's in the same bottle. But moving on, Pyra Mithra taking a lot of damage here. Pikachu getting a lot of really good hits. Small Left not really able to find any good combos to stick Mata in. Just getting whacked all over the place. Not really able to find their way in, get those big damage hits that they're really looking for on Pyra.
Yeah, going to switch back to Mithra, trying to keep up the pace here. And then a quick swap back to Pyra, looking for any reads where they might get a quick powerful attack off, but it's not working. Mata does not want to take any of those hits, knows what to deal with, almost gets the knockout there, but you have to follow through. Oh, but that is going to be some damage for Small Left.
You do have to be a little bit careful as Pyra, though, since you're up special. If you are not close enough, that is pretty much an instant kill since it sends you barreling down to the bottom. So that was the best launch trajectory that Small Left could have asked for. And a good back air is going to take Mata down.
I think that might be the first best trajectory, is when your opponent gets knocked out and then takes some of the fire from the spinning blade in front of you. Though Small Left is not out of the safety zone yet, as Pikachu doesn't hit hard enough to get like guaranteed knockouts everywhere, but that percentage is high enough where Mata does have the room to get it done.
It has a lot of opportunities to really work with here. Good little grab, and that could be it, but no, it's not. The skybox is just
Pikachu
a little bit too high.
Have strong enough arms. They're too short to launch people that high.
It's like the T-Rex from Meet the Robinsons. I have a big head, but tiny arms, and I'm not sure how well this plan was thought through. But that plan was thought through well. The big head came in handy.
I was going to say, they used their head.
Good little side air to finish off the Pyra stock. Still down 1 stock. Still have a little bit of a hill left to climb. but it is still very much in the realm of possibility for Mata. Just trying to find something here to start this out. Mithra is not letting him get close.
Ooh, good shield there from both sides, able to avoid anything too nasty. Now looking for a couple quick attacks. Mata not finding those windows that they want right now.
Small left, looking for the opportunity here. Found a few early on, just wasn't quite able to capitalize on them. Needs to, if you're playing Mithra, you need to find those combos. You need to get something started, just like there. Just not able to swap to Pyra in time. Good hits though is going to result in a lot of damage, but can he make the most out of it? And it looks like a lot of damage is going to be stacked on.
Yeah, Pyra Mithra just is such a hard opponent because they have so many good opportunities, but that Thunder actually going through, not as much damage as you'd want from it, but always cool when it is able to connect. Now Pikachu has to go for the recover, tries to go for the cheeky Thunder to try and create a little bit of space. Does work out if they are able to get back to field, but Mata still over that 100% is going to have to dodge around. One good hit from Pyra could be the end here, and Small Left knows that.
Yeah,
so does Mata.
Oh,
and there it is!
There's your good hit. Small Left taking down Mata to secure the first point for Hawaii.
Yeah,
bringing them to 1-0 in the series.
Yeah. This is a best of 3, so we won't be immediately knocked out. But as we are getting ready to continue forward, it's always great to call out that today's stream is brought to you by, in part, by local dairy farmers and their dairy protein that they produce. Thanks to them, Boise State Esports has access to next-level fueling options that keep our players playing at their peak. Unbottled, dairy protein that powers your performance. Visit unbottled.com for more info.
Yeah, that was a very interesting round, to say the least. I do think Mata did the best with what they had. I think they were putting a...
Anytime you have to fight 2 characters
Yeah.
to win, that's a lot. And the fact that they managed to stay there for so long was really good.
Yeah, I think that the only way that might have been a little bit... He could have been, or they could have been put in a little bit better of a situation. Just... that Kazuya matchup against Bowser could have gone a little better. I think it was just bad
Kazuya,
matchup.
though.
I mean, I honestly think Boise State got put into a really bad cycle. They got put into the, oh, you need to take a bunch of
We're always
stocks.
coming back just for 1 stock, and then you get the advantage on the 3-stock match. Yeah, that's always a hard thing, and that can be the interesting part about crew battle. But we're now going into a fresh crew battle. Both teams are going to be blind picking, and now they need to decide who they want to go first, what characters they want them to play, and like how that might line up.
Well, I think if at any time were the time to do it, I think now's the time. You break out the hero, you break out the thwack, you break out the kaboom, you break out the self-destruct, and then you just run it down. Just run it down, get him, get him, get him.
I know it's your dream, Bryce. I know it's what you want, but...
For this stream anyway, yes.
I know, at least for this stream, we can shift through dreams. It's okay. I'm sure, but I don't know if that's likely. I don't think any of these people play them. But we are going to get a rollback from Hawaii. Not Boise State, though, as Olimar is going to peek out and take a little bit of a stroll around the Pokemon stage.
Yep, just got to tour it for his next upcoming Pokemon battle. I mean, he's got a pretty good team of 3 here with a fire type, a water type, an electric type. Pretty good coverage, but not sure if it's going to get him all the way through the Elite Four with this one.
Is Roy a fire type because he has fire attacks? Or do you think he might have some metal mixed in there because he does have a lot of armor on?
I would honestly call him a fire steel type. I mean, he empowers his sword with fire, so...
I think that's fair. So we see a couple advantages here for Olimar. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to be working out immediately for Supersonic here, as Roy just packs a punch in every single swing.
Yeah, every swing packs such a punch, it just kills the Pikmin pretty much immediately. Lots of them coming out, not really letting Roy do a ton, but when he does do something, every single Pikmin on him dies. So it's kind of a give and take when you're playing up against Roy. Olimar's really just looking to pile on some damage and get in there with a good shot from his purples, but Roy is just looking to run it down.
Ooh, 100% onto Roy. Olimar just continuing to deal the damage and using that range to Supersonic's advantage here. Having a good time, and hey, notably, Blue is back. We know what Blue can do if you get the opportunity here. And a purple Pikmin, which, again, nasty damage if it can go through.
Yeah, Ether Res on the Roy, trying to find a little bit of a way to close the gap. Manages to get a good shield in. It's kind of a bad matchup for Roy in this scenario, since Olimar can zone you out fairly easy. However, you get in close and there's not a whole lot that Olimar can do, just like you're seeing here. Olimar needs to stay as far away as possible while still lighting on the damage. Ether trying to get the edge guard, worked okay. Able to get Supersonic up to 100%, not quite enough to kill though. Both players at high percentages, just about anything from here on out will be a convincing kill.
Oh! Speaking of knockouts there, I will say the one thing I kind of disagree on is I don't know if it's quite a horrible matchup for Roy, just because the amount of damage per swing is so devastating. I feel like it could actually be kind of close. They both have their weaknesses and strengths that they can just take and use, and we can see that going through right now. Roy is damage and takes the lead here.
What a rundown from
crazy
Roy.
way. I mean, he already had the lead, but he's guaranteed it.
Yeah, already sitting at 149%, but
throw's
a
gonna
good
go
little up throw is going to take the stock once and for all. Roy, though, still sitting up at 2 stocks, has a lot of room to play with here. Although, I'm going to go back to what you were saying a little earlier about how it may not be the worst matchup. I do kind of agree with the way you put it here. Both these characters play into each other's weaknesses so well with their own strengths that it'll really just depend on whoever gets first.
Hit,
but
yep.
that first hit is going to go to Ether Res, and unfortunately, that means Supersonic is knocked out while only taking 1 stock of his own.
And puts the Broncos in a little more dangerous position than we were for the first match, as it was just 1 stock to overcome, and now it's 2. Now, we saw Melfor go into this matchup before, bring out the big, angry fire lizard to go up against the swordsman, but now we might not.
Lizard. Lizard. But
That's been stuck in my, just stuck in my feed for weeks now.
Weeks? It's been months.
True, months. Well, weeks of my feed, months of everyone else's.
I think that Bowser is probably the best option here. I mean, if he wants to break out the banjo, I could definitely see why you would do that as well. Try to zone out the Roy a little bit more, but also have that up close and personal ability. However, we saw with Bowser, he got hit once that whole match, and then just completely shut out Roy.
He did a really good job with Bowser on Roy. I mean, just grabbed Roy, launched him. He got stuck off stage, which Roy does not have very good recovery when it comes to the Fire Emblem characters. He has the capability of getting back onto stage, but it's a lot shorter range than a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's one reason that we should just stop playing Fire Emblem characters. I mean, they don't really have that great a recovery, and, there's too many of them.
Well, you say that, then Byleth exists because, haha, funny weapon.
No, okay. Well, they were DLC, so you have to make them good if you didn't pay for them. But it does look like the Bowser from Melfor is going to come back out for a little bit of a round 2, looking to shut Roy out once again. Same strategy kind of applies as the last time, just looking for that way to get him off the stage, not let Roy get back on. And damage is piling up both sides. Bowser might not have hit as many shots, but Melfor doesn't have to. All he has to do is hit a few really good ones, and that is going to be night-night for Roy.
Yeah, Roy is trying to deny that, though. Ether Res does not want to let that happen. And as we're kind of going back and forth here, being careful with those shields, especially on the ledge here, looking for that recovery point. It's not going to happen. Well, I mean,
Melfor with the Bowser special just
I was gonna say,
sock you in the nose.
All of this careful planning from Hawaii. Punch. Bowser just walk forward, punch, spin in shell.
Sit on them. But that is going to be a stock from Roy, though. That's 4 stocks out from Roy.
Sometimes holding forward is not going to work, and in this case...
Oh, he got... Oh, no! The shield break is going to take him down. And with that, that is your unbottled play of the game. presented by local dairy farm families. Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. Visit unbottled.com to learn more. What a shield break to end off the round.
I was about to make like a joke about how you can't always just like monkey brain forward, you have to like take a second, and then, we got a stun and then proceeded to just go forward. Exactly. The pile driver. And I mean,
poor Roy. He got every wrestler's worst nightmare. He got sat on.
It's every Super Smash Bros. Player's worst nightmare is hearing the stun break. Like, that is
the shield.
One of the most painful, I feel like, noises in the game, because then you just have to sit there.
Just don't shield. It's that easy. And apparently Etherez could not figure that out. Just don't shield it. But it looks... Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here.
Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of a similar situation. Unfortunately, the stock difference is a bit greater, but we'll have to see can...
It's a pattern.
Learn.
Oh.
We have pattern recognition brains. That's how
Indeed.
it works. But that's okay. Melfort should be able to see this pattern too. Hopefully avoid it. Might not happen for this first stock as the damage is already all there. And 0% onto Kazuya.
No.
Tishun.
Just doing so much.
Just said he heard us talking about how sometimes you just don't let your opponent play the game and said bet. And now we're at 12% 0 with one stock for Bowser here.
Yeah, I mean, if you are Kazuya, you can just deal so much damage, plus you have your stuns that it really helps in just not letting your opponent play the game, especially if they're a bit heavier and a little slower on the regroup. Kazuya getting it in there, getting a lot of damage, but Bowser playing a little bit safer, Melfort not really letting him do the same thing twice. You fool him once, you might be able to do, but you can't fool him twice. Tries to punch Kazuya in the nose, just like he did with Roy. Didn't quite work out, but a good throw off the stage into some fire breath isn't going to let you in, and tries to punch him in the nose again, and unfortunately, Tishun is not going to... He's wearing a head guard. He's not getting punched in the nose anytime soon.
Going back and forth a little bit here. Does have the power up, but Melfort able to read that, not let it go through immediately. Going to use the fire on the side, try and go for that recovery. They're not able to stop it, but the punch, that one punch right there is going to take another stock.
One punch, one kill. Call this man Saitama because he is the one punch man, but unfortunately for him, Kazuya is going to be laying on the damage. If Melfort is Saitama, Tishun is Garo, and he is showing why he is the king of monsters right now, trying to get Bowser down, already at 130%, and a good hit from Tishun is going to close this one out. Once again, up 2 stocks.
Tishun said, oh, you do one punch? I can do that too. And that is going to be Kazuya getting the knockout there, but stocks were removed, and it's not completely out of the realm of possibility yet for the Broncos, though, like you said, we're seeing a little bit of a pattern here, and that could be scary going into the matchups, as the Broncos need to figure out how they can break that. They need to be able to shake up the formula if they want to be able to take a win here and continue forward.
Yeah, they need to unscramble the Rubik's Cube. They need to take the shapes out of the box. They need to reset their strategy. And I feel like something that maybe they could do a little bit better is those range characters. They need to find a way to get the range characters into a spot where they're not going to get run down. We saw it a lot last game. The Snake, the Olimar, both getting just completely run down the entire time. Supersonic and Gokis did everything that they could, just weren't quite able to find their rhythm. And I believe that we are onto the last player for Boise State, being Mata, if I'm not mistaken. So, it would be... Oh, wait, no. Never mind. I'm wrong. I'm so wrong.
I can't
I'm
believe
very
you
wrong.
forgot Starmus.
I did.
Poor Starmus. It's okay.
I need another monster.
No,
water
you
is
need
not
water.
No. No. Caffeine. I want caffeine.
Well, we'll have to see if caffeine could maybe assist either of the players here, too, as they go into the next matchup. Starmus has to try and find a way to break through. Kazuya and is able to take a stock. What?
Not bad at all. Didn't expect it, but sometimes the most unexpected thing, sometimes unexpected things happen.
Just don't let me set up the match. Just get the stock right off the bat. I see how it is. But hey, I won't complain. The Broncos able to close the gap here a little bit, and not a ton of damage has been taken so far. Rosalina not deterred by the big scary combo Kazuya here.
Oh, big hits. Big hits out of Kazuya, getting the stuns. Not do anything, and that is a stop for Kazuya. Starmus really just looking to find the same success he did with the first stock that he took. Just getting Kazuya off the edge, not letting him return, is definitely the best course of action. He hits like a freight train, but that freight train can't do much without the tracks to assist him.
Yeah, trying to find those opportunities here. T-Shun as well. Not able to get as many hits off, though. Rosalina holding strong with some strong aerial attacks here. Now at 100%, we do have to worry about that power up there, but not deterred right now. Starmus using that extra platform, dodging the laser there. And now able to just kind of look, ooh, could have been dangerous, but good shield. Oh, that combo. It's going to even up the percentages quite a bit here.
It evens up the percentages, but as long as Rosalina can stay away, the up special is going to put an end to that stock for Starmus.
Percentages change, but the stocks are the same now, and Rosalina cleared out, but that is going to be a good clear out there for the Broncos. That's only one stock, though, to go into this next match.
Luma,
we have shaken it up a little bit, but that's now Starmus has to hold the line for as long as they can. Instead of trying to knock out a couple stocks, their goal is to see how long they can survive.
I mean, Rosalina does have a little bit of an advantage having a little bit bigger of a hitbox, but also not having their hurt box in the same spot as where their hitbox is. A lot of their aerials and a lot of their tilts have a hurt box that is a projectile almost, but isn't where they're going to get hit. So if they clash and it only hits where they would be taking damage, then there's a good chance you can come out of it unscathed. And we saw it a little bit with Starmus in that game. Not only do you have your Luma, which is basically like expendable infantry, like get out of there. But we also saw just the ability to hit Kazuya without being hit back. And Kazuya, great character, gets hit, takes a lot of damage to KO, gives out a ton of damage, plus has a lot of stunning abilities, a lot more than what you'd expect out of a fighting game character. However, their hitbox and hurtbox is the same thing. So when you have a character who can hit you from way farther than where you can hit them, you're just at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and I mean, that's part of why we were able to see such a quick stock knockout in that previous match. But now Starmus needs to figure out who their next opponent is going to be as they, like we said, hold the line and see how many stocks they can take in preparing for either potentially getting a full knockout or not. But they are going to be going into Pyra Mithra, so Small Left coming out a little bit earlier here to try and shut down Starmus.
Yep, Small Left trying to set the stage for a large right hook. Down 2 stocks. Starmus does have a little bit of a hill to climb here to even things out. Just needs to find at least 2 stocks. 4 stocks is doable. You can do 4 to 3 fairly well, but you just need to get that done. Starmus trying to lay on the damage, but unfortunately for them, Mithra is just doing a lot of damage to them in return.
Mithra, I think, is definitely a scarier opponent here for Starmus, just being such a fast character, and we can see that in kind of the way that we have to play around it here. But Starmus still doing a good job keeping damage strong, but it is going to even up a little bit here if not careful. And switching to Pyra is that danger signal here. You gotta be careful.
The uh-oh button.
The red flag, I feel like, in your matchups here.
The red flag has been sent to the DMs, and Starmus needs to block the number. Unfortunately for them, Small Left is very persistent and will not stop sending DMs in Discord.
No, just keep throwing fiery blades at you, and that is the knockout. Not able to get that stock. It was so close at 105, could have been there. But now we're on to a similar pattern as before. Mata trying to hold the line, notably 1 more stock to go through this time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. 1 more stock to go through because this is 6, 2 players.
2 full characters.
2 players. Not 1 player.
Not the 1, the 2. We know how to count. We're going up.
I don't, because I thought that was the last matchup.
It's okay. It's okay. It's the second game of the night.
It's like I've been saying all game. I need my monster.
No.
I need monster.
No, you don't need monster.
Yes,
you need
I do.
Water.
No, monster has water in it.
Don't argue that with me.
I will make this argument because it is true. It has water in it.
Water's not the problem.
Big Water doesn't want you to know that Monster has water in it. They want to monopolize water sales.
So anyway, as Bryce has now destroyed the entire psyche of the entire arena for telling everyone who obviously doesn't consume water that they actually do in their energy drinks, Mata is now trying to fight for their life here and the Broncos' potential win if they can get it here.
Yeah, Mythra going in strong, getting a lot of damage up front, not letting Mata really get their combos started, really letting him play the game at all for that matter. Mythra is, or Pyra is coming out, subbing out Mythra, getting ready for that kill potential.
Yeah,
Use Mythra
use
to
the
get
fire to evaporate the water here.
That's true. I mean, typically this matchup would not be good. If you were to pull this out in TCG, I would tell you that you are a fool. However, with Pyra Mythra, this might just be what you need.
I just realized Pyra Mythra is the nightmare for water types here. It can swap to the electricity and, for purposes of this game, evaporate all the water. Greninja, Mata looking for an opportunity here, but that speed that they have right now is just a little bit of a problem.
That is true. Pyra coming back out.
A bigger one.
A good side smash is going to take out Mata's first stock. 2 stocks left. Boise State needs to make something happen here. The Broncos lose this game. Mata loses his 2 stocks, and this will be a win for the Rainbow Warriors. Lots of damage being piled onto Mythra at the moment. Not really able to get in. Mata's doing a good job at disrupting any real startups. Just you need to do that a lot more, and with him piling on, and with Pyra Mythra piling on damage, it's going to make it harder for Greninja to really get in.
Damage is racking up for Small Left, but Mata not finding as many opportunities they did in the previous matchup when they were playing as Greninja. Almost launched there. Oh, that recovery could have been dangerous, but they're... Oh my gosh, can we... I need to breathe. Please, please get off the ledge. Mata, no!
Please!
Okay, that's not how I wanted you to get off ledge. I wanted you to jump to the middle. With that, Mata on 1 stock, unfortunately for the Broncos. The 1 versus 4 dangerous spot here, and they're looking for an opportunity, but Mata is not finding it yet.
Yeah, Mythra is just doing a great job laying on the pressure, using that speed to really get some stuff done. Pyra is going to come out, look for that killing opportunity. Lots of heavy hits that can be done, but Greninja looking to close the gap really fast. Just trying to get something done, but an aerial is going to launch you. Mata up to the air, and that's the game! Pyra finishing it off with a 3 stock on Mata to finish it out. Hawaii wins 2-0.
I enjoy that your excitement was so much that you just cut off the "ra" of Mythra and went Pyra. We've created a new character.
Mythra.
Good job.
Pyra. I need to go to bed.
It's okay. The match is over. The Broncos not able to get a win out of this, but able to bring it all the way to the last characters in those matchups. So showing the strength of their characters, as well as Hawaii holding strong and having some really good plays throughout both matches.
Yeah, I really like the crew battle games. They can be a little bit one-sided at times, but the ones that I find the most enjoyable are the ones where you get to see every single player on the roster play. I mean, we get to see all these different characters, get to see different play styles. Like, to be honest, before Starmies joined the roster, I'd never seen a Rosalina and Luma play.
I know, I was
so
surprised.
That is something
I was like,
that's really fun to actually see in action, something that's a little bit different, and overall just something that I feel is really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity, and it'll be fun as we, continue the season. Like the PEC I mentioned earlier, Mountain West will continue to play throughout the fall, and we will get to see more great games as the Broncos shake off that rust, work together as a team, get more used to their new comps, and continue to see how that results might go for the end of the season. So thank you so much for joining us as we finally close out for this. But be sure to continue to check in at the Boise State Esports Arena as we will continue to have amazing games for you throughout the weeks and months going forward. Thank you. Have a great night. And that's going to bring Kazuya over to the ledge. Cinears go off. That's not going to prevent him from getting back, but he is going to go straight back to the air. And is going to get launched the other direction, too. Snake just...
Oh, with the punish! there.
This crazy exchange on the ledge. Mata's going to have to be careful on this recover, not actually able to avoid the arc fire here, and that
he does
suck.
Malona does end up missing that, and a good thunder out of Mata is going to take.
And takes the lead here.
What a
Such
rundown from
Crazy
Roy.
way. I mean, he already had the lead, but he's guaranteed it.
Yeah, already sitting at 149%, but
That throw's
a
gonna
good
go.
little up throw is. But that is going to be a stock from Roy, though. That's 4 stocks out from Roy.
Sometimes holding forward is not going to work, and in this case.
Oh, he got. Oh no! The shield break is going to take him down. But as long as Russell can stay away, the up special is going to put an end to that stock for Star Miss.
Percentages change, but the stocks are the same now, and Rosalinda
Oh!
but that is going to be a good.